interview Rattigan do like started because this communication tragedies are Rattigan for. And I big up a commissioner of police. All them claims that a commissioner of police under my watching is no peace. Yeah. And by the way, this that and other thing for go about right so right no let me tell me because we're there. Yeah, we are stopping them. Me want to play some clippings with him attack Rattigan show. Yeah, courtesy of Make We Talk. Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah. All right. So my clippings started out with some clippings, and then we're gonna debunk a lot of things. Yes, you understand? So let me start it from here, so. From one.
As a reminder,
all right, so we now update the one of this. Go to here.
Update. I still haven't heard from Minister Nigel Clark or any government entity regarding my inquiries or my inquiry to the Ministry of Finance.
Which I think.
One of these people.
Who is the next?
Listen this. This is what I want to listen. So here's where I started from. Yeah, listen this.
I'm going to introduce myself. I am Dennis Brook. You've been.
What hear it so? Make it go and run. Make it go and run.
So there are many positive things happening that people don't know about. And so a part of my job is to be able to educate people and to hear what their issues. Hearst report or the Harriet report or all of these reports about what is needed, what the JCF needs to do, how the JCF needs to modernize, how the JCF needs to reform. As a matter of fact, one of the most popular publications from Anthony Harriet, it was in a textbook that called Caribbean Sociology, the main textbook that we use as teachers in sixth form. The book, the article by Harriet was called, it was about the problems of reforming ex-colonial constabularies.
So I'm not with no sense yet. And I'm a good friend where I gonna make him talk. So maybe that's why I'm going to come on. Maybe that's going to come on. Why am I about Google?
As possibly the most consequential police commissioner in the history of the organization.
When you hear this?
No, you've given me a lot to chew on, and I've been taking copious notes. Now, let me start with the last point first. You said that if he were involved in corporate Jamaica, he would be hailed as being, in other words, successful. Now, let's look at service delivered. But before we do that, let's talk about how his constituents feel about him. Constituents mean all of Jamaica. right? Now, from what I'm hearing, not from you, but from others, what I'm hearing is that the criticism is definitely leveled at the police, yes. But it's more so leveled at the police commissioner. So given the fact that you're saying that, he's done all of it, and we'll get to the transformation. We'll get to the transformation because there's a different side to that story. Question I pose to you at this point is, if he's so successful in delivering all of these deliverables to his constituents, the citizens of Jamaica, then why is it that he received a 91% disapproval rating?
Well, first of all, a 91% disapproval rating from who?
So now, wait a minute, hold on a second.
So Rattigan,
this gentleman,
I stop that guy because he answer you and him not answer you. Because you're not police. Now, let me just say that straight up. Dennis Brook, you're not police. You're not police.
Hold on, you can't hear me?
Rattigan, I can't hear him right away, but I know him do look Macklin and him do him the cooking, but him and a police. Let me just say that straight. I know when me talking to people, I got the evidence and the thing. I know me make a Macklin and thing, but I'm a police that. Yes, Rattigan. Yes, man.
Yeah. Look, first of all, let me just give a big apology to you and your listening audience because it's disrespectful for you to have a program and invite me on and I show up late. But I'm struggling with a system here. I don't really know. First of all, I'm not technologically adept. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I have to depend on a bunch of people to try and walk me through this thing. And so it didn't work when I came down and started it up. So again, my sincere apology to you and your listening audience and fellow panelist Jeffrey Tavares.
Yes, man. All right. So you interview this, I call it, when I call it so-called police. Jeff, when you know me talk straight, me can't go around this and answer that. It's not a police, but the strategists, chief strategists. Me don't know them create something and put this guy there and call them strategists. But him they attack some gibberish to man, like a good gags, like Google gags. Because me I listen something where I say, the commissioner, the greatest commissioner ever. The greatest commissioner, where the statistics show 1,498 people, murdered last year on Film Watch. And right now the murder tally run out of style. With everything put in place, brother. Everything. You can't write down now. When you invite him to come make a speech, a gibberish. Yeah? Gibberish. And I see them rubbish. A good policeman, McClarkin, I went name. From CTAC. And I've tried to bring the man under the bus and it's not going to work. It's not work. I'm going to play what the man say, because they might try to twist the man word. Yeah, true them ask about FBI, if FBI come to Jamaica. Give me a rundown on that, the Ratty.
Yeah, well, before you play it, let me just say that, I know Dennis Brooks. I've been interviewed by him at least on 2 occasions when he was a journalist over at Nationwide. And a feedback.
Yeah, no little Jeffrey. Just a little more, yeah.
Right. And so let me just start up by saying, in my estimation, Dennis is a decent human being. He's a respectable human being. He's a talented guy, a man. I like him, and because of his position, I invited him to come on yesterday because he's the communication strategist for not for any one component of the JCF, but the entire JCF. And he was put in a position where he had to defend the indefensible. And I understand his position, but we have to go by his answers. We have to, and I told him yesterday that I'd be fair, but I'd be firm with him. I'd be respectable, but I'd also be inquisitive. And that's exactly what my listeners and I try to do with him, is to get to the bottom of things. Now, here's a difference between Dennis and myself. And if you don't mind, man in the wilderness, the wind, The renegade who's not afraid. Just give me a few minutes. Let me just explain people
Yes,
how
man.
Rattigan operate and
Yes,
compared to
man.
Dennis. All right. No, at my last assignment in the FBI, I had a problem with my supervisor, a white person, right? And what did I do? I went to him and I said to him, listen, the way you're operating, the way you're handling the unit, you're handling it in a deficient manner. You're not handling it like a true leader, the leader that you've been taught to be by the FBI. And we had a discussion, we had a disagreement, and then I said to him, listen, here's what I'm gonna do. I disagree with the way you're handling this thing, and so I'm gonna talk to your boss about you. And I invited him. I made the appointment to see his boss, and I invited him. And the day before we were supposed to go see his boss, he said to me, so what are we going to talk about? And I said, I'm going to go tell him how deficient you are as a leader and that you have no right being in the position where you are because you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. And this is a disgrace to the FBI. He turned red, and the next day we went and we sat down at the table with his boss, the three of us now. And I mean, it was a small table. We were elbow to elbow. And his boss said to me, okay, Will, so why are we here? And I said, I'm here because this gentleman seated on my left, my supervisor, I'm here to tell you that he's deficient as a leader. He has no business being in the position and he should be removed. He has no idea what he's doing. And the guy turned red and the guy started making statements like, he's embarrassing me. He's taking me in front of you. He's talking to his boss and he's taking me in front of you and he's doing this and all that. And I said to him, when I started, I said, the reason why he's here is because of this. I'm going to make some accusations about him. And they're very damaging. But I want to make the accusations in front of him. I don't want to talk behind his back and then have him tell you, then you go to him, then he disagrees or he takes objection to what I've said, then you come back to me and then you're in a quandary. So that's why I have him here, because I want to talk about him in front of him to his boss, right? No. And in the end, his boss took me to lunch the following day. And he said to me, you know what? You're right. This guy doesn't have a clue what he's doing. We've got to get some training for him. Now, here's the difference with Dennis. I don't know if Dennis can stand up to the police commissioner and say the same thing. So, boss, you're naked. You need to put on some clothes because what you're doing is not working. I don't know if Dennis can do that. I got the distinct sense yesterday that he's I don't want to use this word, but I have to use it. He's afraid of doing that because Dennis has a job to protect. He has a family. I understand. But if I were in Dennis's position, I would have no compunction about telling the boss that, boss, what you're doing is harmful to the Jamaican people. As Jeffrey would say, you're a clear and present danger to the Jamaican
people. To the
people.
national security of the citizens of this country.
Yeah, the national security.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So what happened?
And national security risk.
Yeah.
Of the people in the diaspora too.
Yes. Between him, between him, the Minister of National Security, along with the Commissioner of Police, is a clear and present danger to the national security of the citizens of this country.
True.
And I apologize about it.
Right. So what happened is that he started out, and I gave him the time. And anybody who watched the program, they'll see it. I gave him the time to speak because I want to hear what Dennis has to say in defense of what's going on over at the JCF. And then he spoke for about, 10 minutes when we started out without any interruption, right? And then he kept talking about this commissioner being like the best, or if not one of the best commissioners, and what he's done since 2018 and all of these things. And I listened carefully. And then when he was finished, I said to him, well, Dennis, how do you address the 91% disapproval rating? And that's when things went downhill, because Dennis tried to defend it. And it's indefensible. He started, and I said to him, listen, because he started saying, well, who did they survey? And he started almost like he was taking offense to the fact that the survey was done and it was 91%. So I said to him, well, it's funny because when the survey came out, nobody objected to it. Nobody said, you know what, the methodology was incorrect. The substance wasn't there. The questions were skewed. Nobody made any comments or any complaints about it until yesterday. And the survey came out months ago. At least what, 4 months, 5 months, maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, from last year.
Yeah. And nobody took offense to it, my brothers. Nobody took offense to it until or nobody questioned it until yesterday. In fact, Dennis used the word popularity to describe it. And I said to him, I don't think Mr. Anderson, the pollster, would look at this approvingly the way you're describing his thing. Because he was saying, well, it's a snapshot in time and it's a popularity. No, it's not a popularity thing.
Popularity with what? Dennis himself is not a police, so police not going to sit down and talk to Dennis. If I play you some police, me have to change up them voice, what stripe. It unbelievable. Them up, he might get burned too, you know, but me I tell you, Google Gaga, the amount of fire them, you don't believe a police are burning because them say man a police. You know? And by the way, them address him, them not say Sir Googs like how me hear that talk. Them just plain with a Google Gaga. Then I put the Sir on it. Me have it there, me play it, and I don't believe. Me have change up the voice one of the day, me have play them. Different police. You understand? See? And by the way, Dennis and a police. I have something here. Yeah, Jeff sent it to me earlier and I want to play this. We're gonna ask him and your program that are Dennis books about the policing. Hear this people.
So a previous caller that wanted Mr. Brooks to answer if there's a fusion center or not. I was none at the time. So here's my question to you, Mr. Brooks. Since I was none at the time, can you answer that question for me? I was not. Is there a fusion center or not? The other question I want to ask you, Mr. Brooks, is when you became a police officer, did you go to the academy? Did you do the requisite time at the academy? And did you spend the requisite time doing beat patrol before you actually become some type of communications director? Can you answer those questions, please?
Police academy? No. As I told you, I did study criminology and policing from a policy perspective in my educational career. I think my recruitment speaks for itself in terms of my academic background and in terms of my capacity in terms of what they wanted. And then when I joined the JCF, I received.
Okay, all right. Can I do a follow-up comment? Of course. Go ahead with your follow-up. With all due respect, sir, I don't think you should have been a police officer because to me, the academy is an automatic. You need to go through that academy. A guy like Mr. Rattigan, he would need to go through an academy because he went through that when he was, aspiring to become an FBI agent. So to me, you should not become a police officer. And this is not personal yet. I'm just in general. You should not have become a police officer. You never went to the academy. And apparently, you never also do the 18 to 2 year stuff on the street that most police officers would be to get interrupts and stuff like that. And again, no disrespect, sir. But if it's the type of way we're running things in Jamaica, that's why Jamaica is so messed up. We still need to answer that question because I was not at the time when you're asking about the fusion center. And you still haven't answered is a fusion center or not. Mr. Brooks, and thank you, Mr. Rattigan.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome, caller.
Listen to what he said.
No, he was saying that he didn't believe that he's saying that he's not of the belief that you should be in the police because you're not familiar with police work. You never went to the academy. You didn't do the requisite 18 months, 24 months on the street or whatever. So basically, I see where he's going with the question. Let me just do a quick piggy.
All right. So right away, tell you. Me tell you now all the way, say this man is not no police. You them catch him from over Mouthpiece Radio. Put him in a police uniform. Yeah, and tell him say him a chief strategist. Me don't know who's a strategist. There's a chief, a senior. That means must be junior strategist. Them just make a profile for him. Push him up in a soup position, assistant soup. And he must say because I'm education background make them do this. Him don't know nothing about policing.
But you know something, Wayne?
Yes.
When I heard Mr. Rattigan ask the goodly gentleman from the JCF the question, and he didn't answer, I said, what is this damn nonsense? You can't be the communication strategist for Jamaica's law enforcement. I can't answer this question, so I called in. And when I called in, Mr. Rattigan put me on the speech and I asked him the question again. He's going to say to me, I've already answered the question. This is to show you the regard they have for the people of this country. You are being paid by the taxpayers of this country. You didn't vex me, I said, I'm going to say it again. You, Dennis Brooks, is being paid by the taxpayers of Jamaica and of the diaspora. It is your duty to answer the question, does Jamaica have a fusion center, yes or no? Simple. Or say to us, I'm going to check and get back to you guys. That's simple, say that.
Let me just add a quick piece of that, Jeffrey.
Go ahead, sir.
That segment of the program started with Mr. Brooks saying that Jamaica, the JCF was involved in intelligence-driven investigations, and that they had prevented hundreds of murders. They caught people on the way to commit murders and so on and so forth.
Lie.
So yeah, but he was saying he was talking about intelligence-led investigation. So if you have intelligence-led investigation, you're supposed to have an intelligence center or a fusion center. So that's when I asked him, because I know about fusion centers. I've worked in them all over the world. So I said to him, does Jamaica have a fusion center? And there's a reason why I asked him that question. Two things. One is I wanted to find out. Well, one is a few weeks ago, there was a press notification that U.S. law enforcement and the JCF, they have established a fusion center. And this is something I had spoken to the Prime Minister years ago about. But they said it just started one. So I asked him the question because I wanted to find out, okay, give us the developments. What's going on over there? What are they doing in terms of requirements, in terms of a collection, in terms of dissemination, assessment of intelligence? How are they converting information into intelligence? Who's inside that fusion center? Is it one building? So these questions I wanted to ask him. And the reason I wanted to ask him was because the press released weeks ago that there was a fusion center, right? But you know how it is. When the fusion center or intelligence center, people tell you all kinds of things, but sometimes I don't say it go. So I asked him for him to say yes, then I would follow up. Him never answer. And that was a simple question because it's in the public domain already. It's out there already.
Okay.
And all on Mr. Wayne, Mr. Lonesome, and that is to show you that they keep on lying to the people of Jamaica. They lied to us at the time the FBI is in Jamaica. When the police came out and said X, Q, Y, Z, then Minister Clark came out and said something different. Until now, Minister Clark have answered us if the FBI is in Jamaica, yes or no,
So then it's Brooks. Welcome say the police never mean what them say, right? No, go that. Let me show you something now. Let me show you people. Maybe we just talk to you. I not found the pan line. Right? I'm going to show you the man, a big fat lie tell. It's an ex-Google clown. He just did it on top of Google. That's why them give him this chief strategist work. We chat straight. I'm glad when we have Jeff Tavares and Rattigan, say we not play around here. So this is a dynamic stream. We win around with people. All right, hear this now. If you stop, never talk to you, Rattigan. 30 years FBI service. Remember me, myself. I feds where do FBI work. Them don't know that, All right, hear this now. Them don't know my style. If them stop 300, over 300, because them did say over 300 people, them save them life. And them, stop that and what have you. You see the court with 300 person get charged for attempted murder and all kind of things. Because if you stop the people them from dying, you understand? You see over 300 of them damn people going to prison because them that commit the murder and what have you. When FBI set up things where you look them make a woman man kill her husband and them do something like blood pan him and go give a picture and what have you and stop them. Your FBI score. Them score. And other agencies score. If you stop over 100 or 200 and 300 persons from dying, listen, people that get convicted for this. So you want to stop it and then let go them people there. How much people used to get convicted for how much people them say them save them life? I lie them I tell. Straight up lie. See them a black man and them can't even find them footing good much. Which other people you see them a try for case who attempted murder where them fail the murder. Them fail the plot. But them have to charge the person. No, if them catch the person and save the life. Don't who you catch the criminal them. Don't you have to charge them? You have to go front of court and you have to go sentence them and send them to prison still. You have to get gun off of them and you have to get other things from them. And how much can you recover? How much thing you recover from all these plot where you save the people there? Them two lie, brother.
Hold on a second. As you talk about gun, I do a little bit of reading, light reading today. Then you know when Dennis, look again. I sympathize with Dennis because I'm in a bad position. I'm have to try and defend him, boss. He can't say anything less than that, right? But there are ways you can go around answering certain questions. But be that as it may, no, yes. I'm going to ask you, Jeffrey, and the listening audience, how many guns were seized in Jamaica? Illegal weapons were seized in Jamaica 2016, 2017, 2018. How many were seized? Approximately. How many guns do you think?
How many can Google it for me right now?
No, Google nothing, man. Tell me off the top of your head.
About 200 and something.
How many seized for the 3 years?
Yes, about 200 and something.
No. Way more than that.
No, they might have more.
About 500 and something.
More than that.
We don't
want at the time. Approximately 1,500 guns were seized in Jamaica between 2016, 2017, 2018. Now, here's the question. Here's the million.
Who coming in? How much seized?
How many guns came into Jamaica? 2016, 2017, 2018. How many? No, we are go by where the Minister of National Security said.
200 a month.
When me say, or when me feel the answer
2,400 a year.
Yeah, you know what guns coming in that 3-year period? 7,200 guns coming in.
Yeah, and only
1,500. 1,500 them seized. And these are for them statistics. These are for them statistics.
Yes.
So you know it more than that.
We're more than that. So what am I talking about?
In fact, the New York Times. In fact, my article, I think it's the New York Times. The New York Times. Yeah, New York Times said that the Jamaican authorities estimated that 200 illegal guns are smuggled into the country each month from the U.S. That's just the U.S. 200 from the U.S. per month. No, we know we have guns coming in from Haiti,
from Colombia,
Honduras, Trinidad. We know that.
Yes.
There's more than 200. No, if you just go by the 200 alone, people, no, listen to what me I say carefully, you know. Listen, I remember now Jamaica, in the national security plan, them said them all protect the borders.
Yes.
And them claim to them have more than 140 legal points of entry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask the question. So what him do with the 1.2 billion US dollars when claims they must spend from 2016 to this year? When
them
do with it?
Done in a different money they must spend again.
When do with it?
And them say them fix up the most station, but you don't have a car. Because of the state.
No, but want people focus on this, no, on them numbers. Yes. Focus on this. 2016, 2017, 2018, 3 years. That's a 3-year period there. The government of Jamaica said them seized 1,500 illegal guns. 1,500. Yes. But them say that 7,200 came in the country.
Yes.
And them seized 1,500. We have a good pan match. How much that left out?
Around 4,007.
4,700 guns are run around. And hold on, this is just for 2016, 2017, 2018.
5,007, yeah,
right?
5,000, yeah.
So now we have 2019,
5,722.
So if you still do the average, you have a calculator that give me.
No, I'm not use calculator. 5,007.
Yeah, your head. All right, no, do from 2016 to 2022 at 200 per month.
2016 and 2022. That's what 6 years.
Yeah.
So that'll be 14,400 gun coming.
All right. I know them say them might get 500 a year. They might recover 500 a year.
So them will recover 3,000 gun.
All right. Give me the number there again. How much gun coming?
500 a year for 6
500 a year.
3,000.
3,000 guns.
So 14,400.
14,400 coming
for 6 years.
And for the 6 years. And them sees how much?
Them and if them say them will cover 500 a year, 500 a year.
Average, yeah.
Average of 500 a year for 6 years at 3,000. 5, 6, 30. 3,
all right. Make we say we give them another 1,000 pound that. So them see. No, give them
4,000.
another
So
2,000.
them have 10,400
No,
outstanding.
give them another 2,000. Make we say them sees 5,000 going over
No,
the
but
6
then I
years
see so
period.
much. But anyway, them
No,
have
give them that.
8,400 outstanding.
Arrest my case.
All right, good. Let me show you something. Turn on your mic, Jeffrey. Let me show you something.
But this
Jeffrey.
man,
Yes.
this man,
Yes.
come on radio and defending a man whose rating dropped within the JCF. The people who he preside over are staying secret to leave because we don't want you there. We're not doing a damn good job. And the people of Jamaica is fed up. When last have you heard the Prime Minister big up the Minister of National Security and Justice?
They can't big him up.
And pretty dum-dum.
They can't big them up. You have to smile them up.
The Prime Minister, the Prime Minister is so afraid.
I can show you I can show you something, Jeffrey. Look at this. This is the same man when I say in the police. See me? And brethren, this is better you go do your work come know you used to do. See the man, yeah? See me? Look at him, see me?
But let me say how this. This man
Dennis M. Brooks and
Dennis
Twitter.
M. Brooks. And it's Brooks.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm glad.
So this was the
Well, you're my green man. Are you this?
And then over here upon the link, let me check who was this person. And then
social media specialist.
Yes, social media specialist at Nationwide News Network. Okay, so it was a social media specialist. And then all of a sudden, we see it turn in Dennis M. Brooks. Okay, senior communication strategist, Jamaica Constabulary Force.
This is goddamn shit, man.
Vice over actor, sociology, teacher IG. You see this? Okay. So that's so. And then my friend, you see, no training at all whatsoever. But when me look, this is the same person. This when ASP, the books. Same person. This. They're telling me it's a police. It's not a police. And a police, you make a run too slack, Police, if you do police training and do police work and do it 2 years, what a thing. It's a foolishness.
This and a police. I don't care. That and a police.
The question must be asked, Mr. Rattigan and Mr. Lonesome. Is it that he was politically appointed to the JCF, like how some people is politically appointed to the JUTC?
You're correct. Because that's not police, You know, the police training. Yeah, the man just asks him saying out time mouth, not my word. Listen, me not go chat, me not do tabloid. Me I listen out of film own word, the word out of film out. Him said, no, you go, tweet and part train. No, because I'm background and education. Education doing what? You just going at the police, you're a fake cop. I'm not goddamn shame. You're a fake police. Me talk straight down to the ground, me no business, I don't care. Him and the police, and Google Gaga no police neither. None of them are the police. So you have a senior strategist. You know if the JCF have any post-boss strategists?
In the beginning, that's a good question. We need to investigate
them
that.
Just come and create a post. Senior strategist, because you know what is a strategist? If you strategize. So when you know, come and you talk to a Rattigan. Yeah? And when you talk to Rattigan, you come and pick up after if you're a boss, what did I run in a like private sector? Everybody that worship a boss. He might the best this, he might the best doer. No, Mr. Police shoes are drop off.
Show it again,
police man. Brother, police putting a police are use taxi up on crime scene. And you talk about building station and do this and do that. Police not think for right hand.
And they were told not to build the police station into a waterbed.
You know why they build it in there? Because crab want go line and dine in there. Crab love water and especially dry land crab. So that's why they build it. Because a waterbed. Yeah, man. It's a waterbed. Eh? It's
You
bad.
spend how much $1 million of taxpayers' money to build?
70.
How much? 17 million.
70.
70 million.
And I'm gonna spend 70 now for correct it. 70 million for correct it. This is more than robbing.
So hold on here.
Brother,
The
70 million for put in drain and correct the water issue. 70 million I'm gonna spend now. 100 million, 140 million for that.
But Mr. Lonesome, the question must be asked. Is it that the person who built the building, the contractor, is the person a part of the JCF, the Jamaica Labour Party?
That them I forgot to tell me now. Because I know some blowback money I did, so you have four little while. We could have been the cheaper, you know. Me have a contract brethren, we could have been the cheaper. We could have saved the country enough money. We could have been like enough time cheaper.
But they were told by citizens of the area, do not build it there because it is a waterbed. And how is it that you can build a building and you don't provide drainage for the building, for the property? What kind of nonsense this?
No, you know what? No, you have a card. You have, remember, you know, all right. Say you can't. You give me a contract for come do that. You owe me for anything. Where listen. If me build it, I'm gonna put in the drainage and do anything like that. No, you, the government, you are hold me accountable. You can sue me too. They say the contract them where you are going and you assume because I have to correct it, you know. I have to correct it out of pocket. I have to lose money and all kind of things. So I have to do my job right. I can't come give some put patch up work and then you spend so much money and then you can spend the next 70 million. You know, so blow back money and so them a thief money. It will stop. It need to stop. No more play Ratty.
Yeah.
More play. What him say no. Say the man never mean what him say. McClarkin never mean that he mean about Gene Pant and this and that. The bag of foolishness that them say.
You have played?
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. So when I'm here, McClarkin say, right? I'm gonna play more you listen to the news and listen to the man straight. Listen to the police the head of CTAC what him say. Listen this.
Investigation into the SSL fraud is being led by Jamaican law enforcement agents.
So far, the investigations have all been conducted by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And I just want to point out too that the police have the capacity to fully investigate this matter. There have been similar matters for which we have successfully investigated. And based on the investigation, if we require the assistance of the FBI, that is, if we find out during the investigation that there is any international aspect to this investigation, then that is when we will invite the FBI or ask them to assist us. But so far, the investigation is being led by the Jamaican.
ACP Anthony McLaughlin, head of CTAC.
That's not straight cut, brother. What the man said. This have anything to do with when I try to push one and go around, brother. The man I tell us Jamaican police are him at the head of CTAC. You hear what the man said?
Yeah.
You not throw the man under the bus.
Yeah, Wem said, because I asked him about 4 events. The first one was the one, at least 4 events. The first one was the one where Minister of Finance made a statement that the FBI, they were there and they were conducting intensified investigations, and that the investigation had, in his estimation, it had surpassed what he initially thought. Then we saw where a journalist by Ricardo, I can't remember Ricardo's last name. He works for Nationwide. He put out a written report saying that there was no FBI presence there, and the matter was being conducted out of Dominican Republic. Then this statement, this third state, this one from Mr. McLaughlin, who said that the FBI. He said what he's saying is that the FBI is not here, and if we find international tentacles, then we'll invite them in. And then the fourth is the joint statement by FID and the JCF saying that Mr. McLaughlin was referring to like the local situation. And then Dennis added a piece yesterday. He said that he was there at the press conference, and the question posed to the CTOC leader was about Miss Panton's involvement in the scandal, and that what he was saying was that as far as that investigation was concerned, the FBI was not involved. It was a local investigation, and if they needed the FBI, then they would invite them in or invite them. Well, it just, and then I asked him if, and I don't think he believe, I don't believe he answered the question when I asked him.
No, he did not.
When I asked him if is the FBI there,
he did not.
And if the minister was truthful when he mentioned weeks ago that the FBI was there, I don't think he answered those questions.
What he did was go around a mirror going by saying to you that Minister Clark has the capability to answer because
it is based in the Ministry of Finance.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing he did. Just dance around everything.
You're right. No, let me just say this, right? Look, I understand confidentiality, classifications, the need to know and all of that. And so, if I understand that there might be some police action, some police activities that you can't talk about. But I didn't get the sense from Dennis that was the case. That okay. Because, for example, when I asked him about this, I remember he said that he wasn't privy to it, and I said, "Well, how could you not be privy to this? Because you are the communication strategist for the JCF, not for CTOC alone or FID or whatever, for the whole organization. So how could they have left you out of this loop?" And I think I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I think he was a bit nervous because the way he answered the question was by not answering the question, but he didn't say it in a way that you normally would hear, that it's an ongoing investigation and we can't talk about it right now. And I mentioned to him later on, in fact, today I said to him, look, if you get yourself in a spot like this, I mean, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but it would be better for you to say, listen, there are certain things I cannot talk about because it's an ongoing investigation. And at some point in time, we'll get to it where I can give you a full briefing. But at this point, I cannot. But he attempted to answer the question, and it ended up being confusing for everyone involved. Like this piece now about him saying that it was a local investigation, it does sound weird because if the FBI is in Jamaica, that means to do SSL, Panton is part of SSL. So they would be investigating that as well. So you would need to invite them to do that. That would be part of the main investigation. So when they try to dissect it and say, well, this is a local investigation, and then there's another part over here, and he's talking about this part. It's one investigation. It's SSL.
You know what, though, Ratty? If they might try to put all this $3 billion on the woman by herself, that means the money they're gone all about. That means the FBI they have interest in she. So, you said she local, that means, so she do the money international, because money move internationally, That means I say, and if a Panton, and about the FBI, about no Panton. So, so now she take the money. Yes, them know what I want. That I want. That I want the Ricardo Brooks. I'm brother, yeah? I'm brother. Ricardo Brooks, I'm brother.
I didn't know.
Okay? And the next thing again, I play back the man again, make it ear. Because them are fling the good police, who are real police, under the bus. None of them are the police. None.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
Is it because Wilfred Rattigan came on the Make We Talk Jeff Tavares YouTube channel and also on Roots FM and said that Hussein Bolt should get in contact with him because he has the capability of doing X, Q, Y, Z, and because we called for the FBI? Is it because Mr. Rattigan came on my program, came on your program, went in other people's program and said the FBI should be coming, the FBI should be called in? Why they came out and said to us the FBI is going to be investigating and blah, 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 when they damn well know. But they're not going to get the FBI involved in it because people have the vumvavan, the vumvaveen.
Everything gone.
And is it that the Prime Minister's office called the regulator of SSL says, stand down, don't let them down yet? Is it that the Prime Minister of this country knew that SSL was going to be was failing? Why he removed his money? And why did the Prime Minister remove taxpayers' money also? That the taxpayers' money is NHT, Agricultural Society, and two other things. The Prime Minister need to answer the people of this country. Did you know what was going to go on? Why you remove your money in 2016, Prime Minister? They have the people in the dark as if what? They are Dan Dad and others are Donovans. You're not running a totalitarian country. This is a democracy the last time I checked. And these people are governing us believe that they're in a totalitarian country. Like where they are Cuba. Or the great Xi Jinping China. Or Russia. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
You know what? Let me just say one quick thing out. Will. Today, a politician sent me a small video where, I don't know if you have seen it, where Peanut Dread.
I send it to you.
Which one of them? Because there are two of them. There's one of them with Peanut Dread.
Right. So you're gonna tell me them I use Peanut Dread to do it's a promotional PR them are doing, you know. PR.
Right.
When the Prime Minister.
It's a PR because
when to the Prime Minister.
Yes.
Right. Now the question I have to ask about that is that Peanut Dread need help. But you have hundreds of thousands of people in Jamaica who need help. Yes. So is the question, and the Prime Minister said to Peanut Dread that, we heard your appeal and we're going to do something about getting your house fixed up and stuff like that. So my question is, can anyone now call the Prime Minister and say, look, my house, we need a house, or my house need fixed up? Will you help them? Will you assist them?
Let me answer you again.
Or do they have to provide a catchphrase like Radam?
No, with that. You have to provide, like, you have a medium, like how we have a medium with so much people follow it. But you know, so them have them know millions of people follow me personally worldwide. So me that be a good asset for them if them could have catch me put in a pocket. But remember, say Lonesome is not for sale, right? Them know. Because you know when you look at our CV, them say Lonesome a planet. No about no star, no planet. Like Jupiter, Venus,
and Lonesome also a planet.
You're a planet. And you see we are planet. We are planet.
And you're planet.
We are planet and we are planet. You understand? We're not around for them. Damn it, we are planet. So we are planet. All right. So them know. So Peanut Dread, him have following. And them know. So I tell Peanut Dread, because somebody said it since he been there drive come on. And I tell him, say, him for use him influence and talk to the talk to the youth them for change them ways. Put out things we good for talk to them. So you are trying to reach the people who have them platform, and I tell them use them to go do influence. This is how you are trying to use people. Listen, go to the media houses and like that pay them millions and go and pay them millions to do a job. Elected to do a job, go do it. Have a police commissioner who want to spend 176 billion. I want to spend the most. I know you have to Peanut Dread to help you to talk to the youth. Them. It's a goddamn shame. Yeah? Me, I tell you that. It's a goddamn shame. The man I get 18 million. You not bring that to me. You know why I talk to the youth, them actually we love the youth, them that's why we talk to them, But them I look people now, after him saying I make you sleep with the door and window open. Him I look people now, like me now, for come and say, okay, youth are youth, and then him feel good and say yes. So when you see youth and behave themselves, now I say, listen, that alone, so because them man that don't win it. And them man that dad and super granddad. And the youth and behave themselves. Let him take the credit. They didn't take the credit. PR stunt.
But Mr. Rattigan, Mr. Lonesome, Mr. Rattigan.
Yes.
You sit down and you try to figure out, does these people truly love Jamaica?
No.
Or are who governing this country? Do they truly love the people of this country?
Mm-mm.
Because if you said in your campaign speech that you are going to help Jamaicans sleep with the door open, one person trying him dead like a dog.
Dead.
Meanwhile, him and the other people live up at the Efferland society of the Vumvava and the Vumvavine, where security around them 24/7. And it's a damn disgrace that the same security force that is protecting them, that treat them as if they are nothing. Have you ever heard any parliamentarian blocking roads and they get their salary? Have you ever heard any parliamentarian talking about higher wages so that they need salary to raise? And then them block the road forget the salary to raise? Why is it that our teachers and our nurses and our doctors in this country and the people who secure us in this country have been sucking salt through a wooden spoon with both the PNP and the JLP over the years? What is going on in this country? Yet this country get donor funds of billions and billions of dollars. Where's the money going?
So that's why we have to stop that now. We hold them accountable. If you have people like us that will question them, and we serious about it. When we attack, so when we laugh, we laugh, because we go them and a real police. And we remind them, and we serious about it. Lawsuit coming. We remind them, and not joke, nothing, and not joke. We not make joke. we not. We are laugh and do things, right? We have to deceive Google. We have to move in from that seat there. From the hot seat. The hot seat. The man of police, better.
And what
thing right now make people more the citizen life in a danger. Google sit down in that seat there. Because him there, they protect the big, the rich and greedy, and a trample the poor and needy. He put people life in a danger, man.
And what we need to do, Mr. Lonesome and Mr. Rattigan. You see that 1-point-something trillion dollar budget that they have?
Mm-hmm.
We need to go through it, with a fine teeth comb.
Mm-hmm.
And say, okay, for education is $40 billion by word speaking.
Yes.
And by the way, didn't they lock up somebody from the Ministry of Education for fraud day too?
Again. Yes, man.
We need to start look on the budget that the Minister of Finance put out and start holding them accountable. How much I give to education? When you check education, if education is being done properly, when it comes down to the money, the same thing with health, the same thing going down. We need to do all of those things because honestly, money that goes somewhere.
Them have something, Jeffrey, about job creation. But the people them in the ghetto, when I talk about hungry, somebody Reggie just came and tell me same father dying his sister since evening. I mean, when you hear me get come call, say we have, we have to balance some sitting for them and things, Just since evening and when I finish call them and talk to him. But enough of them things when I Jamaica that so much people run different programs in Jamaica, all over Jamaica. I touch the world and the world, we in a diaspora where if you assist straight. Because the diaspora Jamaica done, You see starvation like we see back in like 1983, back in a one of them African country there where people really are starved. You see it. If I never the diaspora, people in the diaspora, it bad. And then them man all them do go on and take praise. Can I tell you this? Can you imagine now books? I give Google got praise him as the best commissioner. Google is not a commissioner. He man a commissioner and Brooks himself attack is not a police. He man a police, brother. He not get no training, but he give a man. It's like you catch a man and put him in the police uniform. Somebody attack to me and I say, listen, them take him to police, Them give him a gun, Them never know son of police.
But
it's the police but them put him in a police uniform. And give gun.
Isn't he a DC?
He man no, he man ASP. He must
what is ASP?
Assistant superintendent of police.
Him?
No, to the pass, corporal, sergeant, inspector, assistant too. He must be suit. Them opening that and push him through.
It's kind of telling, very telling that what you just said a while ago, that them give him uniform and them give him a gun. Very telling that you have people on the street who actually have fight crime. Them don't get a uniform and them don't get a gun.
Yeah.
It's very telling.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that Dennis said yesterday, and again, let's put it out there. I really, really like Dennis. But you have to kind of separate the man from the message, right? And when you separate them, like yesterday, he made a comparison and he was talking about a caller challenged him about the crime rate. I think the caller said that from 2014 till now, the crime rate doubled, right? The murder rate doubled.
Right.
And then there was a back and forth and he was saying he didn't know where the guy got his numbers from and so on and so forth.
Put it up on the website.
That's what the guy
That's what the guy said. The caller said that he actually went to the website. The caller told him that go to your website. That's where I got the
information. No, I'm not a police.
What Wem said was quite interesting because and unfortunate because he made a comparison and he said that the crime rate was basically stabilized. Some years it go up a little bit, some years it come down a little bit, maybe a percentage point or 2 percentage point. And then he compared it to the economic situation in Jamaica, saying the GDP, if it go down 1% or come up 1%, then it doesn't really have that much effect. And then I had to point out to him that, Dennis, I hope you realize what you're saying, because when it go up, even by a percentage of a percent, right? That life is not coming back. That person gone for good. When the GDP drop a percent or whatever, I say, look, Jamaican people resilient. We know if it tight, we're built, right? We know if it take we and turn fashion, make money and buy food and eat or grow food. We are going to live, no matter how severe the economic pressures, we are going to survive. But when somebody did, that's it. So I don't think that was a fair comparison. I think he'll agree. If he's watching, I'm sure he'll agree with me. The other thing that was that he took objection to the fact that we were asking him questions about resources and the relationship between the Federation and JCF, main JCF. He took objection to that because he was saying that we should go to OPM, Ministry of Finance, wherever, to seek the answer. But I was trying to explain to him that, listen, the reason why we're asking you is because the issues are inextricably tied. We're talking about resources, and resources will come from the Ministry of Finance. They have the purse strings. They will release it. Then you have OPM, all right, and then you have the Ministry of National Security. So they're tied. So even though I think he was a little bit uncomfortable with the question, I think it was a necessary question to ask, because the JCF doesn't finance itself. It gets money from the Ministry of Finance. And so we wanted to ask him about that particular perspective, not the Ministry of Finance piece, but his piece. What have they done with the monies that they've received? And remember, we talk about the Senator Webby and the 92 billion that he said he only spent like what
17%, and then get back the next 9 billion.
On top of that, right? So Dennis, if you're listening, I hope you understand that it wasn't, yesterday's program wasn't meant to embarrass you in any way, shape, or form. It was meant to elicit information from you so that the Jamaican people can understand their role in the crime fighting issue, and also the role of the police commissioner, what he was doing, what he wasn't doing, and the fact that then it showed up and kind of give the impression that, he gave the impression that everything was he refused to criticize, right? And again, I understand, but you have to have some courage. You have to have some spine sometimes, especially in times like this, and say, listen, I would have been satisfied if he had said, look, there are some things that are not going right. We're working on them, and hopefully Jamaican people will see the benefit of what we're doing in the near future, something to that effect. But he kept saying that, he kept giving the impression, he probably wasn't using this, the language, but he was giving the impression that everything was fine. And that's when I said to him, well, if everything is fine, can you tell me then what is not fine? Tell me something that is wrong with them then, because everything can't be perfect. And you get a 91% disapproval rating. And then, the JCF, here is where I think he had a really big problem. He had a problem trying to defend the police commissioner and JCF management. And at the same time, he's a communication strategist for the JCF, so he has a responsibility to the Police Federation. But the Police Federation is at odds with JCF management and the police commissioner and the Minister of Finance. So he had to straddle the fence, and I don't think he was prepared for those types of questions. I don't think he was prepared, because at one point when we asked him...
But Mr. Rattigan, sorry to cut you off, but he's the one who put himself in that. He started talking about himself, and he started talking about the commissioner this and the commissioner that, and the commissioner is the best commissioner known in the history of Jamaica, blah blah blah. He's the one who put himself in it.
But I don't think he was. I don't think he was prepared for the depth of the questions. I think I don't know, but he didn't. I don't think he sufficiently answered or addressed the issue of resources being provided to the police federation. I don't think he did, and I think that the next, and then again also, and I'm not giving him a pass, but he's used to the position of introducing.
There we go. All right.
He's used to the introducing the media whenever they have a press conference, and then he's fielding questions, but he's not answering the questions. So I think for the first time yesterday, he sat in the chair where he had to answer questions. And again, Dennis, I want to thank you because you agreed to come on for only 45 minutes to an hour. And you stayed for almost, what, hour and a half or more or longer.
Maybe if him did see the man in the wilderness in the running money, he would stay for 5 minutes. So it's all good.
Here's the thing: we don't want him to run. We don't want no government official to run. We want them to sit down and answer the question. Because remember, the program me him reason with Rattigan. So it's like, okay, make we talk. You know, we're not gonna fight or anything like that. We could just exchange views. And
so we want to hear what them are saying now.
Exactly. So we give him the time and make him talk. And if there's a disagreement, fine, we'll move on to another point.
Yes.
But you have to kind of be prepared when you come and sit down, you know, with people who ask some probing, deep-seated, some questions what the public want to know about. This is not bat up and catch time. You know, it's not bat up and
catch. Make it clear to them. You see, this panel where you see here, this isn't about now. Them panel are not politically aligned. Not to yourself. Them panel are like, when you can't buy out nobody around yourself. We're not hungry. Yeah? And like when I can't give it little chicken back and $5 to come vote, you know I get to vote. We're not diaspora. You understand? So a serious thing we attack, we are bad for the people, them the majority of people. The masses of people who are suffer, we're hungry. We're for them food to them. Some of them are eat source of flour. Some have none. Some little girl, I go through some little catchy. Some man, I go through some catchy with some little baby. And then I get pregnant no underage. And a joke me I make. But talk about it like 1,000,000 times. You understand? Them thing they hurt me. You understand? It hurt the whole away yourself. And a joke we I make. Herb, you just come on, but I forgot to play about this kind of people, them want to see it. Me I tell you say, Brooks is not the police. So I have to play about this. I make the people them. I'm carrying right now, but I have to play about this because the people them want to see. See me, people.
This are the it's a television Jamaica. This are the
magla that man.
Something. This about let me say how this.
Is that the person we spoke to yesterday?
Then it's in Brooks.
Yes,
Brooks. Okay. So this what looked like was one of them mother. You know, from television in Jamaica, and then let's see top this up, and then over here up on the link, may I check who was this person, and then may I see something. Me as some social media specialist. Nationwide News Network. Okay, so it was a social media specialist, and then all of a sudden now we see it turn Dennis M. Brooks. Okay. Senior communication strategist, Jamaica Constabulary Force. You see this? Voice-over actor, sociology, teacher IG. You see this? Okay. So this one. And then my friend, you see, I'm training out or whatever. But when I look, this is the same person. This when ASP.
Him is a DC district.
No,
same person.
You are assistant superintendent of police.
It's not police.
Yeah, I think he said it's a DC. I think he said
he's a the police training and the police work and do it.
He said DC yesterday.
It's a foolishness.
Yeah, I think he said he's a
just text and I tell him come in because come in as a DC. Him come in as an assistant superintendent of police.
Oh, okay.
ACP.
That would be consistent with most ranks across the.
Can them have a thing with them open it, but if we go get to like how the young kids them got trained, and them got trained, but him give them the assistant superintendent, but them train.
Yeah.
Let me just say on the air that he sent me a message today, and he had a complimentary thing to say about you, Herb.
Oh, you did,
yeah.
And the thing about the kids, the girls, the underage girls, I used to on him, and then you press it a little bit further. I didn't want to go in hard on him because I realized, in spite of everything he was saying, that he wasn't being his own best PR man, right? You cannot say that it's not a crime to the police, that you just pass it on to child welfare, right? Because that is a serious crime anywhere in the world. To have a 12-year-old show up pregnant and deliver a baby at Jubilee Hospital.
And a minister of government was there.
And if you remember yesterday when I kind of challenged him, because I said to him, well, because he was saying that we were making a comparison to SSL and Pantan, and said, but you arrest her and you don't have and there's no. He said that the police can't arrest without a complainant, right? And I said, but your job is to detect crime as well, so you don't have to wait for somebody to complain. Right. If there's a crime committed, you don't have to wait for a complainant. And if a 15-year-old of a baby, that's rape. The rape 14. Is the reason why she's pregnant. 14, right. Yeah, because you're underage, and underage you cannot give consent. Yeah, so it's statutory rape. So I said, what more evidence you need?
I will see the minister with her and say, oh, maybe I know her age. You don't look at a little baby like that, and I give her and I give her teeth.
No, but hold on, Mr. Lonesome. Before she goes there, you know, her staff would have briefed her.
Of course.
So when Juliet Cuthbert Difflin come out and tell the people of this country, listen to me, some of these politicians, you know, some of them, you know, take me for a bunch of damn fools in this country, you know. Them billies say we don't have no brain, only them don't have brain. Bruce going to tell the pain, Peter Termite, them want them brain. Them billies say Termite, them want the people of Jamaica brain.
1 second. You know, I don't want your listening audience to ever think that we are giving politicians, because a lot of them, well, I shouldn't say a lot of them, some of them are crooks. And I don't want to give the impression that they're brighter than anybody else. And and here's why. You remember they passed that Firearms Act in 2022, and they made a big statement, big everything about it, you know, campaign saying that criminals, people who get caught with illegal weapons, now they're going to serve I think it's minimum of 15 years or something like that. And that's when the Prime Minister used Peanut Dread's phrase. Rattigan. Exactly. Yes. And then what happened after that? We see a man get sentenced for almost 4 years for possession of a firearm, right?
Radam.
And you know why? Because these parliamentarians who we put them in there, we put them up there because a lot of us think that they're brighter than us, and so they will represent us. But they're not brighter than us, especially this Panila. They're not brighter than Panila, because you know why? There's a section in it that talks about, I think it's the Gun Court Act. There's a section that talks about if somebody gets caught with a illegal possession of a firearm where a permit obtains.
Yes.
What that means is that if somebody broke into my house at Jamaica and thief my gun, and them catch him with it, right? Him not looking at 15 years because I have a permit for that gun.
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It has to be a gun where there's no permit for that to do the 15 years. And it also depends on the court, whether it's a resident magistrate's court or the circuit court. It depends on which court.
And then it have a loophole again, because if you catch this person with a gun, him could have said, I never him broke the house, you know, you don't get the fingerprint. Say you catch him with a gun, him could have said, me I can't go to the police station and find it. Me never know say I broke it, find it.
Yeah, because him have 5 days. Him have 5 days to turn in that gun. Him have 5 days. Yeah.
And then you don't know when him find it. Every meet me have it 10 days and him come say, but I find it here so. I find it now gully, me have it now bag, me I can't at the station, you hold me. Where you run him and say no?
You're right.
You never catch him about something.
You're right. And here's what them try though. Here's what them tried with the thing that them say, well, we're a permit obtains. Because them that contemplate the situation where a wife, for example, drop off her husband at the airport, and the husband have the gun, him licensed weapon in the glove compartment, and then she'll go home and the police stop her and find her. No, she's in possession of a weapon, right? Yes. But there's a permit for that weapon, so they must say, okay, we have to show some leniency. So she would only face like 4 or 5 years because there's a permit.
No, but hear this now. She don't know say it in the glove compartment, a film car shall drive it home. Oh, you're gonna give her 4 and 5 years now. Oh, you're gonna prove that she know. Me no, so you drive a car. Much time you drive a car, every day you're gonna go your glove compartment. Me a drive and my wife there. Say I open a glove compartment. Me not even me I open it. Me go in my car, me not just go in it, so.
But it just shows the kind of people.
Now them don't think. Remember, politicians, all right. If them did not think, you think them that come with car seat. Remember, so them no, them fully done, you know, brother. Them want, number one, when them are going to the parliament, enough for them, you want to put a Jamal right there, so. And them have to go through it like an X-ray machine before they go sit down.
But Mr. Lonesome, listen to me. I asked a question many years ago on a program. Is it that when these politicians go in at their house and then Nyam, who are vexed to see Mr. Jeffrey, or they eat, make I use the English word.
Because for them Nyam, you know Jeffrey, them Nyam.
Of course. Them Nyam and them Nyam anyway. Jeffrey behave himself tonight, because them Nyam anyway.
Nyam.
That when they go into their house and they eat, and they go right to step them, they call each other and say, listen to me, it's tomorrow morning. And they call themselves and say, okay, tomorrow morning, I'm going to do X, Q, Y, Z to Parliament, because we have to put on some stiffer penalty. Now, the car seat was in the Road Traffic Act of 1930 something, I think, or from 2018 or whatever. But it was not meant for the public transport sector, to what I get to understand. I am to be corrected. It was meant for the private people. So because them know that these taxi and bus drivers, some of them can hardly read and write, and some of them don't want to read. Some of them don't understand the road traffic laws, and some of them don't know they're right. You see? They decided to put it in there. But when they put it in there, they did not know that because there are some people in the transport sector who are yes man to the parliamentarians, them in a politician back pocket.
Yes. One name Newman. One name Newman.
Him Newman.
Edgerton
Newman.
Edgerton Newman. Remember call your name. You would look at 12-year-old girl. Look at me what remember you have a case in a better. You're not supposed to run the traffic, you're supposed to run cow and hog, No, people eat hog and cow. You're supposed to run donkey and horse, You understand? Make them kick you and bite you, And mule. You understand? You're not supposed to deal with nothing with no kids carrying no picnic and nothing at all. Nothing. We know donkey bite him. And I joke, 12-year-old child.
Some of these so-called leaders in the public transport sector sell out the sector to politicians.
Yes.
When I say sell out, what I meant, if there is a demonstration to happen for their rights, they call minister, said they're not demonstrating. But no, man, demonstrate, man. Come to the office and give us something in an envelope. And they hold it down. So when these people want to demonstrate, there's some snitch there. So when the public transport sector decides enough of these nonsense with this car seat, the government didn't realize that the people mean it. If they did not come out and what they did, they would have seen something worse than the 1990s gas riot in this country.
Of course. Because they're stupid enough.
No, but hold on a minute. When you have a prime minister going to say in his speech to the nation from his conference that this government will not bow to an organization, who the hell you think he is? We put you there. You have to serve the people of this country. And if you were a leader, you'd have met with the public transport sector and said, listen, make talk. Have a dialogue with them at the national arena or the national stadium or the conference center. Get all public transport sector from around Jamaica to meet up there. And sit and speak to them. But no, you have this bullyism as a prime minister. And you must stop it. Because we put you there.
Jeffrey, my name say a bad mind, because he's a man who use the first prime minister. Me tell people you're bad mind. You're bad mind.
Hello. I don't bad mind for a damn thing I have. Because we shall die if it dust we came from, and the dust we shall go.
We have nothing.
Wait, let me ask you a question, because one of the things that some people write to me about and say is that sometimes you make the allegations, but you not offer the proof. Like you just mentioned something about a 12-year-old, and that's very, very serious. Some serious allegation. You have anything you want to share with the people regarding that gentleman and the 12-year-old?
I put it up. It did went through the court. I put it up.
What's going through the court?
Of course, it went through the court. Through the court, me not make allegation.
I'm not aware of it. Can you just give us people like me? Can you just give me just a synopsis?
Can I try to talk back in about 2 minutes?
Can you just give me a synopsis?
Yeah, so what him do, them say like him take up the 12-year-old and go molest her and things. So that meanwhile, them did have him a court again for some selling a license. the carriage license plus that. And then after I'm going to do that again, then by 2018 again, them have him a quote again for selling carriage license because, and then after that, him to go spend some time, I pay some money. They make him pay some money, I spend some time. I try to ease him up. And then him go back again now, go take some soldier money and them out for press charges. And then go to Agintai Brethren in a transport authority. And him now make him get some, yes, him go to
Where was Agintai?
Agintai?
Yes.
Agintai, H-I-T, Agintai. It from St. Mary, man. Agintai. Yeah, man. Agintai. So I'm going to Agintai. That's the one who do the belly dance and state dance with the transport authority. Yeah, man, you know the one you know the one where they moved the other day, man, when we have a press where I call in and them want to sell me, license for 600,000.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one they were there. And they move it. Because I have to force it to move. That's a it friend. Because it plant it there, you know. Remember it plant them one day, you know, to make the money, you know. See? So I want to know they there and I go on with one bag of thing. One bag of thing, because it go down there for get where it get, you know. You understand? And it stay up away there.
But the chairman, but wait. The chairman for the board of the transport authority need to go to
a long time.
He's also the chairman.
9 Scott feet, you know, Scott for them use at Scotland. Because when that put on its bike for a juke, you know, he better run, you know. So we have 9 Scott for that, you know.
But he's also the chairman for the sugar board.
Sugar, yes.
And he was the one was saying that land is being sold at Clifton. That led the Prime Minister of this country to go to the People's Parliament and tell the people of Jamaica that land is being sold at Clifton. And he, the Prime Minister, was the Minister of Defense. Call out the Jamaica Defense Force.
Call
out the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
But
helicopter and the Hagmaster sitting them there.
Orlando, as a Prime Minister, remember, you know, you call Jamaica Defense Force like when you do like other country, radio country. Now, when you touch the Jamaican people, what put you there? Where you are the servant of the people. And this is a house matter and crisis. You know, if it's not a state of emergency, if you are called, you can't call you're not supposed to get a police force now, you know. You're Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of England can't come and say, hey, I want to lock up lonesome because lonesome said this. No. If me break the law, the police come. I'm matter of fact, the Prime Minister drive it out a seatbelt and them charge him. You are Prime Minister, you did the you're not supposed to send no police to me.
Wait, let me correct you on something. The Prime Minister is the Minister of Defense, so he can call out the army.
No, the army, but you can't call it out for the people like that.
No.
Remember, if like say 8 year raid we. No, you know, so the Prime Minister, well, you know that go already and what have you.
Right.
But not from the people. The police commissioner, the police force supposed to say if me do something wrong. And if you have built somewhere illegally, that's supposed to go through court and who do the right thing. The Prime Minister, like how the youth are opening the gate. An angel for go in yard behind the gate. And the Prime Minister said, I want him locked up. And when you look police run, go lock him up. That is dictatorship, brother. Who go lock up the man and the Prime Minister, them forget charge. You can't tell the police you go charge nobody. No minister can't tell if you go charge nobody, brother. Police are supposed to do police work.
And that is why we need to ask the Prime Minister to go back into the People's Parliament of Jamaica and tell us if the teacher who is the principal for the school in his constituency, is she a part of the Klansman gang? You came and tell us that the Klansman gang is selling lands in Clifton. Is the principal a part of the Klansman gang? Until now, you can't tell us that because you justify it. To go to the People's Parliament to call out the army and the Jamaican people who sit on government land. Because no one said to the friends and cronies talking about land, the National Land Agency. Listen to me. When we left the 400-year-old land where they are trillion, you know. The National Land Agency leave the 400-year-old land that is in Trelawney. You want to try thief.
I want, you know, so I want to show you something about digital human because you asked me. I'm going to tell you something I use it, Tita. Now get me, I put it up, make you see it. Look, Rattigan, look on my screen. Taxi Association head sent to prison. Also facing sex charges. Look at who. Look if you see my name in there, your name, Jeffrey name, or Ufa name, I see. Ufa. Eh?
Edgerton Newman.
And what they say? What it say? Look on the money, see there?
36,000.
To Prusi.
Yeah.
Him deferred 7 taxi. You see this? Okay. And you see this? You see the sex charge? Remember, so we not say nothing. Remember, you know, when me talk, and you can see it good, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Your name upon it? Jeffrey, your name there?
No, hell
you
no.
You the sex charge?
No,
your name there? Listen not with the man in the wind neither. Me show me not say that. Me see nature new man. So I don't talk. Me rest my case. So him shouldn't they run no tax him, should they run go, cause donkey love bite, you know. Donkey bite him. You can't put him on cow because you know cow people have to eat patty and eat them beef and anything. You can't put him on I got scavenger too, you know. You can't put him on some crab. No, you can't.
But you know something, Wayne. When you have a person who wants to speak out for the sector and stand up for the sector, they're fighting against the person. And I speak none other than Finnegan from Portland. Mr. Finnegan, Oscar Finnegan, has been standing up for the poor paupers in bus and taxi operators. Don't get me wrong, you know. Newman did some good work for them, you know. But afterward, Newman sell out.
Oh.
If the PNP the power, Newman sell out. If the JLP the power, Newman sell out. Not usually.
So one of them was saying I'm
like him saying thing, but be careful, Tuesday. Anyway.
I want to sell out them.
My country don't sell out.
So Ratty, me just show you this is the observer. Me I show you, you see it? Them big and broad with rape charges and all kind of thing, molesting and all kind of things. It's bad. Come out and paper, a legal thing, man. And in the court, him they still do one. It's bad, brother. It's bad. You man, we not see Newman, man. We not see him. And the other one we always go on that you just start about him, Jeffrey. The one who always go on South Camp Road, Nine Hills. That one there. Him to leave, yeah, man. Him for go on about him business too. You understand? Him for go on about him business. Yeah, man. Too much of it now, man.
When who you talking now with Hills? In a South Camp Road.
Shook. Yeah, yeah. Jeffrey. Right. We tell them so tonight I got acting, so people have to laugh there, you know, because them know so tonight well acting, you know. And we don't hold back nothing around here. You understand?
I get to understand that the Jamaica's future commissioner of police, run by his constituency, people log on listening.
Yeah, man, them look, boy, yes.
Yeah, hear the son of the soil, Wilfred Rattigan, who used to broke hard dough bread and eat tin mackerel with them, and he still do it when you had the time he do it.
Brother, the amount of kangaroo me is a light for, remember me had the win. The amount of kangaroo them up there so light for you, Rattigan. And so we don't believe in them thing, you know, that's why I don't know all you hate, you know. Because them are like kangaroo. They like kangaroo, Jeffrey and my name and early name for it, you know, but they can't do that.
Hello, they can jump. Hello. They can jump some Gareth some more. My uncle Oberman.
Yeah, the uncle Oberman too. Well, I get Carla like crazy. Me answer them. Yeah, hello, Carla.
Hello, so remember to speak of the JP that are selling the passport form and charging the people their money to sign documents.
Yes.
Remember to speak on that also, please, and show it.
Oh, yeah, man, let's show that. Because how much them the charge of that on your son again? Just tell me, can you have it?
In charge for data, $350.
Yes.
For passport form.
Yes.
And then in charge of $1,500 per document. So in charge of $1,500 to send each of the passport form, plus him sell the passport form to her as well.
What JP charge? Hold on, Mr. Longton. Caller, what JP? Call the JP name.
Me have it, man.
Because
call him name. Call him name. Me have it form, you know. I have his signature.
The form is free.
He's located at Oxford Road in Spanish Town.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Me have it, man.
Right,
how much in all your daughter give? How much in all him take pay?
Okay, $350 each for the passport
That's
form.
$700.
And then $1,500 per form.
That's a 3,700.
Yeah, and plus, I don't remember how much in charge to sign the passport pictures there.
And then we go on a discount. How much in all she give him? 5,000? How much did they give him the day?
I think that's 6,000 in all.
What almighty?
It comes to 7,000 something.
7,000 and then she get discount. Eh?
Yeah.
I show them the passport. Remember, show them the form. Because remember when we are talking about things, we have it in us. So me have your sign in. We just never talk about it. Remember at the win, you know. So when she call you, you know, so I show them the form, you know. I show them the form. Yeah, man.
The paper from the passport form is not for sale. It is clearly written on it. It is not to be sold.
Yeah, is he permitted to charge?
He can't charge nothing.
No.
Right, so
a JP job is a volunteer job.
That's
all right. See there? Look. See passport for me?
Yes.
JP. See when I'm at a fact, I put it up to my mother a nice thing about him. When him see it, I remember him the Oxford Road in a Spanish town. See the farm there, see him sign there and him stamp.
Why name? George Sinding?
Yeah, George. Yeah. Boy, all right, I look on this. His name George sitting here, sir. So George. See him name on ground here, sir. Well, and right, but then it stop. All right. So I get my video it and put it up.
But hold on there. I wonder if the Minister of Injustice Delroy Truck.
And these are the picture back where him signed. So we do how him sign because see them there? Inside the picture them. Me have them, man. Me have them. Me talk about him from there.
Never George
for sign two little kid thing him sign.
Is it Neville George has down there? I'm lonesome. Neville George?
Yeah, and I never miss it.
Hey, Will, does that constitute malfeasance or misfeasance?
One never film name this.
That's a crime.
Yeah.
Because it is clearly said that no justice of the peace in Jamaica should be charging people to sign any paper. Minister Delroy Chuck. One man went down the place at Spanish Town, charge woman $5,000 for sign paper.
6,000. I 7, but him give a discount.
In the name of Jesus.
Yeah, man, 7,000 for us sign two little kids, them, you know. Yeah, man, two. Yeah, man, for a girl and boy, so a 7 add, so him give a discount. How much they must pay 6,000.
And he's selling a government paper too. The passport form is not for sale.
Yes. So these are the things that the people them have to face. That me I tell them, man. I remember when we talk, you can't drive back feet. But I
wonder if Delroy Chuck, Mr. Lonesome, put down stiffer sanction on JPs who thieving people, who taking people money on a passport. Like I put down stiffer sanction on people who have illegal guns.
Nah, you know, I have to put it down for themselves too, you know. They have to put it down for themselves too, you know. You understand? Because when them come with a foolishness, completely foolishness, yeah. Yeah, Freddie. We hear back from you now, Freddie. Yeah, man. It's a completely foolishness, man. Yeah, me that touch you back, Freddie. Yes, Rattigan. Yes, Rattigan. So with this guy when me not call him police. Yeah, and I'm talking about a foolishness. We don't call that on a police. No police training because the person will call you. I tell him I have no training whatsoever. None. Hold on, call her.
Yeah, hold on there, Mr. Lonesome. You can tell you Mr. Rattigan and Jeffrey.
Herb is here too, you know. Herb is here.
Herb.
Hey,
yeah, Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
May I hear that? I want you guys to check this out. I heard that the Prime Minister, Sir Andrew Hartness, is planning
all the things what you see is doing is a distraction. He's planning to change Jamaica without the PMP to turn it into
no. Listen now. All right. So let me tell you something now, brother. That personally, your name Brown. Hear me now, brother. Me not even do. Cause you have some people just come up on them chat club because they want some views and things. Not like that, brother. Me that know, me that tell it. Me that hear me talk about it. Not like that. Him can't plan not like that.
Hello.
But them the country. But one thing would be, we keep it straight. Don't follow everything where you hear, yeah? And we don't repeat it over your son and we'll have discussion on it. What me do, me ignore these things. Because you have some conspiracy theories and we not do that. That's why we like show, we prove and them things. You understand? Me the right side of them, not like that, brother.
If I may, Mr. Lonesome, if I may.
Yes.
Based on our constitution, not because he may have majority in parliament, he can't.
Yeah, we not do that. We not do. Yes.
Put Jamaica into a republic state just like that.
No, sir, he can't do that.
They have to have a referendum, and the referendum means it goes to the people of the country.
And nobody now do that neither.
And he has to draft a new constitution. If I'm correct, Mr. Herb.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. But it now do that because remember, everybody. Remember, it's a hard thing to do because you have two set of people from traditionally we vote for them we and all kind of things, and some people they are and them thing there. A man just come and say, hey, me I turn this in a communist country. Unless the Chinese are try to control it, then you have America come in now, and then some bomb are drop on some people for the runway. Because China they fire them out of the land. So let's say you kill out the Jamaican them now, like what them are try to do, the whole of the youth them, and then the Chinese them spread and them are try to control the place and turn it in a way them want to turn it in. Then it's America and them are have some. But the conspiracy theories me not do over. Me not even want to talk about that because not like that, brother. We not do that.
And I think
I want to, we talk straight around here, but we talk sensible. We not follow the things them when not make sense. We don't even talk about it. We ignore it. From when we run here, so we as big man run here, so we ignore them thing there. Don't even bother ask it. We not deal with that. Some people want clicks and like. We not do that. We keep it read. So even them I watch we now, because we know them watch we. You know, big up Bailey, Fitz Bailey. The one of them watch me, May I tell you, one of them, Bailey, big up yourself. Zane, Google, smile up yourself. Yeah, man.
Google watching too. Man.
Wayne, I think what we need to do one of these days, is bring on a person who knows about the Constitution to enlighten the people about the Constitution, their fundamental rights.
Yeah,
in the Charter of Fundamental Rights, that was formulated a couple of years ago.
Yeah, man.
Jamaicans don't know it, and I think that's what we need to do also.
Yes.
To let them understand that the Prime Minister alone or the Labour Party alone cannot put Jamaica into a republic. It has to go through a process.
And him not talk about republic now, He might talk about a one party something that make it worse. Like dictatorship.
And that can't happen either.
That can't happen. I know the republic. He might talk about the one party thing. He might put the soldier them and then he might capture the place now. He might overthrow now and then
he might try that now. But yes. Try that. And one of them most of the Jamaican people will sit and take
that us.
When them back is against what they start rebel.
Me never start them because remember Ron has one thing. When the Prime Minister watch me, Ron has say, so we not do tablet. Let me tell you by the way. You remember Prince Charles? I watch you from him Prince Charles. I know him King Charles. Cause my youth there up in England there, him a fixed bank and everything, and Charles them go meet him and when Charles when him say talk and I say, you're Jamaican. So you watch Wayne Lonesome? You watch Wayne Lonesome? So
that means our good friend Mr. Rattigan can speak to the king.
Watch him, never stop watching.
Remember the letter to the caller from England.
Yeah.
What person who called and said, don't forget to write the letter. Now, I shall wait until after him officially is king, or because right now I'm probably too busy for him taking a look or entertaining a conversation about that. So I think it's the first week of May or sometime in May.
Yeah.
He'll be officially crowned king. So I think, but the letter is drafted, but I'm just deciding whether to send it now or then, So, but listen, let me touch on something here. Because since we have a town hall meeting and it's about good governance, right?
Yes.
And we have an excellent panel.
Yes.
And we have an outstanding and attentive audience, people who understand what's going on. Hold on. Thank you, sir. Reach my Malcolm X glasses, them. No. How we in business no, right? No.
Jamaica's future commissioner of police.
Yes, sir.
No, what happened is, I think what we need to do is, because, well, let me back up. In Jamaica, stories that die a journalistic death, like 7 days, 10 days, whatever, and gone. The story that nobody is really talking about right now, that I would like to talk about, is the Integrity Commission's the report that said that the Prime Minister, that charges should have been brought against him. And then we had that came from the commission and from the director of investigations. And then we have the director of corruption prosecution, who issued a report saying that no, charges shouldn't be brought against him. She didn't feel like there was enough evidence there. However, she did say that there was one charge that she felt could be substantiated in court, but she wouldn't bring the charge because she said it was tantamount. It was equivalent to bringing the charge would be equivalent to an abuse of process. And I've been asking my politician friends in Jamaica, what does that term mean? Abuse of process? Because the way, if you read the report, the way it's drafted, it sounds like she's saying because the thing happened a long time ago. No, we know that the incidents, it's more than one. He wrote 2 letters. And the inference was that it was written to influence the bidding process or the allocation of contracts to somebody from his constituency, somebody who was his business partner and had been on boards with him. So the question then is, what is abuse of process? Now, the things happened back, 2006, 2007? But the investigation didn't start until Zara Burton brought it to their attention in 2016, right? So I don't know if they refer, obviously they can't be, because there's no statutory limitations on corruption in Jamaica.
None.
Right. So there should have been no such thing as abuse of process. I don't understand that, and I'm still trying. Go ahead.
So Mr. Rattigan, can the, from your lawyer's background, I know you don't practice in Jamaica, but can the people of Jamaica bring something against the PM?
Well, that's a good question. Here's what should have been done before the people of Jamaica bring something against the PM or even conceive of that idea. Under the Integrity Commission Act of 2017, right? And people know when I come with, like the man in the wind, I come with facts, right? Under section 33, right? Actually 34, it talks about what the director of corruption prosecution shall do and shall not do, right? And it says that her powers, because nobody can tell the director of corruption prosecution who to prosecute. I mean, it's final. If she says I'm not prosecuting, it's final. Except, and that's what people know, except 4 of the Constitution. Section 94 says the ultimate prosecutor in Jamaica is the DPP. That's what it said. And in fact, that's what the Constitution says. It says right there. So it says Section 94, subsection 3, the director of public prosecution shall have power in any case in which he or she considers it desirable so to do, to institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than court martial, or to take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that may have been instituted by any other person or authority, and to discontinue blah 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 blah. But it also says, you know, when you go to the Integrity Commission Act, that's what the Constitution says. It says here that the director of corruption prosecution is the ultimate prosecutor, except for section 94 of the Constitution that says that it is the DPP. And here's what this document, the Integrity Commission Act of 2017, here what it says could have happened. It says that when the report was filed, the investigative report, when that was filed, before it's filed, the the prosecutor, the director of corruption prosecution, could have had a meeting with them to discuss the legal issues regarding the corruption, right? It says so. It says so on section 30, subsection 1C. The corruption prosecution division, which shall be the and blah 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 blah, and it goes on to say what and what she can do. Well, it says what and what she can do, what and what she cannot do. One of them is that she can have a discussion with them regarding the findings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Let me find the other section. Then the second thing is, which is most important. Let me find it. Hold on a second. Give me a second. The second thing, which is most important, is that it says that the commission, once a report has been submitted to the commission, the prosecutor could have gone to the DPP and said, hey, can you take a look at this and give me your opinion, right? Or the commission could have done it on its own. Oh, here it is. Sorry, section 34, subsection 1B. I stand corrected. It says the director of corruption prosecution shall provide legal advice to the commission on matters concerning acts of corruption and offenses committed under this act. So what that means is that she should have met with the commissioner, or the commission should have met with her and then go over this report right before it come out to the public. Then the second thing is that it says that section 34, subsection 2 and 4. It says, and I'll read. It says, without prejudice to blah blah blah, the director of corruption prosecution may, acting on his own volition or upon the request of the commission, request an opinion from the DPP as to whether or not to initiate criminal proceedings in respect of any matter that has been referred to him, meaning the corruption prosecution, under this act or any other enactment or on a point of law. So the commission could have asked the DPP.
But she didn't. She did not.
As far as we know, they never do it. The DPP never look at this.
And even if you ask the DPP, remember, you know, if the prime minister makes strike 5, they make she stay there because she's supposed to leave already. What do you think she gonna do? She rather go look about her Santa more than the prime minister.
True, but here's what I'm suggesting is that a matter as significant as this, the corruption prosecutor should have said, you know what? This is so significant that what I'd like to do is to have the big boss, the DPP, look at this and render an opinion. And therefore, she would have been shielded. Because if the DPP said no prosecution, she could have said, hey, you know what? I took it based on the statute. I took it to the DPP. DPP is a final word on it. DPP said no prosecution.
She never do that. She not back it too.
The commission could have done it as well. The commission, that board, that commission that with the retired judges, they could have said, forget what where the corruption prosecutor said, we're going to the DPP and ask the DPP to render an opinion. Did they do it? And guess what? If they didn't, they still can't do it up to this point because there is no statute of limitations on corruption in Jamaica.
Hold on, Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
We know that the DPP cannot. She's not going to do it. All right. And the retired Justice Panton, Seymour Panton, I think he's a part of the panel. Right. Hold on, Mr. Lonesome. Hold on.
Yes.
We know that she's not going to do it. Mm-hmm. The senior justice, Seymour Panton, who sits on that board, could they themselves take the PM to court?
No, them have got you.
No, them can't. Only two people can prosecute under this. Only two people.
The same lady.
The same lady or the DPP.
Then hold on, you know. If there's documents to show that the Goodly PM is involved in certain shibangarang.
Right.
And the DPP refused to act. What can the people of Jamaica do?
No, that's a different question. That's a different question.
No,
that's a different question. You can't do like what the man in the wilderness do, which is you can bring a writ of mandamus.
You can't find anything against him now.
Yeah, and the way you do, you force. What you're doing is actually forcing a government official to do what they're required to do. And so you would have said, listen, you said that there's enough evidence to prosecute him. So what is this abuse of process business? Tell us what does that mean, because it can't mean the statute of limitations or timing, because there's none. So therefore, we have forced you for prosecute, or if you don't want to prosecute, then go to the DPP and get an opinion. But here's but we could keep this in mind. The DPP, under the Constitution, section 96, subsection 1B, it says that the DPP must leave the office at the age of 60. However, with consultation with the Prime Minister, in consultation with the opposition, can go to the Governor General, and you can get an extension up to 5 years. They did this in 2020, and they gave her 3 years. So and under the Constitution, you can only get one extension. So she up this year.
Yes.
She up this year. And now we're seeing movement where it appears as if the Prime Minister is trying to get some kind of amendment enacted so that she can another 2 years. Right.
Yeah. Instead of going to the world 5 and done.
Right. Yes. And therefore there's a feeling that if you send it to the DPP, she won't do anything because she won't get the other 2 years. She won't do anything if you take it. But I said challenge it. Send it to her.
And we are going to challenge it. All the things she can do, she rather trim off her Santa board and try do anything to the Prime Minister better. I mean, I tell you that.
But here's the thing. What I'm suggesting is that we don't shortchange ourselves or handcuff ourselves. Make the judge, make the court rule and say, you know,
so that means we bring charge again, we file thing against them too.
Exactly. You see, Jamaican people, what we are doing, not the diaspora, what we actually doing is that we're actually engaged in the legal process to show you that there are ways that you can address these issues beyond just speaking out about it. You can actually take it to court, right? And then force the judges to make a decision. And then you'll see if these judges are impartial and objective. Force them to make a decision. And we hope that when they follow our footsteps, Access to Information Act, that's a viable vehicle you can use to get information. The court system, writs of mandamus, that's at your disposal. And we're going to show you how to do it. We're going to show you how to do it.
Okay, Mr.
Rattigan. Serious.
Rattigan, for the layman who lives in Waterhouse, Artie Valley, or Riemann Jungle, explain to them what the court of mandamus meant.
The writ of mandamus is essentially like and they have the same writs here in America.
Yes.
It's basically saying to a judge that, look, here's a government official that is supposed to do X, Y, Z, and they haven't done it. We need them to tell you why they haven't done it. And if they're supposed to do it, then we need you to issue an order telling them to do it. So, for example, this prosecutor will never prosecute even though there's evidence. She have to go before the court and explain what is abuse of process, because she said that's the basis for not moving forward with the prosecution, even though the evidence is there. So she have to go explain what is abuse of process, and I guarantee you she won't be able to explain it without some controversy, because there'll be people that them lock up already and them never claim. Oh, by the way, here is another thing. What that means now is that anybody who's under investigation by the Integrity Commission for more than 4 years can claim abuse of process. Can say, hey.
So they might open the floodgate.
Exactly.
Somebody just asked me if who replace the DPP. Them have deputy DPPs. Them have
they have lots of qualified. You have lots of qualified.
DPP don't follow with the Prime Minister, like Bev. When the Prime Minister talk about she this and she not do not talk about protect them. The big necks.
No, but Wayne.
Yes.
It is a possibility that the deputy DPP won't get a position, you know.
No, they're gonna fight them. More than one of them, you know, so they might fight them. So them not want them because the deputy DPP might come and say, yo, I'm grab you, I'm grab them no. So they might say, yo, we can't make that one come grab her and one day no one them go and we could try to keep she because she do what we want to.
No, yes. Wayne, what I'm saying,
yes.
When this one goes, you know, they won't promote somebody who was there before, you know. They will get one of their cronies to come in.
No, them never do it yet. So me not.
Then no.
How about them try it? You know. But we are standard.
You know something. You know something. I'll ask you a quick question. You listen?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The question I'm gonna ask is this: Do you? And this is for Herb and Jeffrey and the listening and viewing audience. Does anybody know the conviction rate of this DPP for murder?
She not really good. You can't see it. She not good.
I've been given the understanding that them fail in 9 out of 10 times to convict somebody for murder.
She not good. Only thing she do, cultivate her.
I have to go check those. I have to go check that. I have to go and check that fact.
Yes.
I think they say it's like somebody who's charged with murder stand at 90-something% charge of being exonerated if they go to trial.
Yes. Only thing them do 1 and 2, they get to you, then them stepping at them neck. Because the judge don't want to listen to it. In a Jamaica, it's abuse of process. Where the judge, when you go in a court, you come from ghetto, and remember you can represent yourself, you can talk to a judge. The judge feels, hey, fix up your clothes in your pants. Don't open your mouth in my court. And blah, 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 blah. That's abuse of power, Because the judge have no right to talk to no citizen like this. If you want to clear yourself, shut your mouth and lock you down. It will stop.
Show your way. The people, because they continue.
Your mic, yes. Talk again.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Because the people of our country do not know their fundamental rights. Everybody, majority of people don't know their rights. Everybody who have hard science and technology behind their name believe they can speak to the people anyhow. It is your right as a Jamaican citizen, if you know what you're doing, to go into the courthouse and represent yourself.
You can't do that.
Fundamental right.
And you're right, of course. But
the judge supposed to give you that right.
The judge will bully you. The judge will shut him out in my court. Put in your pants in your shirt. Don't come in my court, so like she won the court, our court, Lock him up.
No,
don't give me no chatting around here.
No, actually,
judge in Jamaica,
Actually, the court belongs to the king. God save our gracious king and bow.
But hear this now, Herb, and hear this now, Will and Jeffrey. When the one there with her baby, the big guys, them up there now, she with her little guy, with her little son, 9-year-old son, them have a phone, and I look out and say, hey, give them the access to your phone. She said, no. And nobody not lock her up or do or nothing. So you see what money they do.
No, it's a case.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when you see Patrick there, they say, my back broad, like sharp shutter. Who can't do nothing. Nobody not them they have not trying. Look from Panther now. From January and them say them now left no stone and turn and I know them not hold one person. Them they have chat to the oligarch. Him say me there, Them I say, him try this. Him I say, no man. Anyone who want to come talk to me and interview me will cooperate. No, you should not drive him out by him foot. I know them not chat to him. Because you chat to him, it carry down like 3/4 of the government.
Is there a part in the Jamaican law that specify that if you need something from a person's phone, because of privacy, you can't get it? But hold on there. Hold on there.
So you're a suspect.
Hold on there.
You're a suspect, right? Mm-hmm.
But if the court rules that you must hand over the phone, is it that the people of the effluent society in Jamaica, the Vumva and the Vumva above the law in Jamaica? Because if it, according to Will Matty Perkins, may God rest his soul, if it was a man from down below Crossroad and Dirty Foot, tear up Batty Trousers, boy. I took the phone from him long time.
They mash him up, give him get bullet too.
There you go. So why is it the people of this country who vote for these people to make laws in this country, and when they make the laws in this country, they only make the laws for the lower class of society, but not for the people of the Vumva and the Vumva?
Brother, one law across the board. But you know what? The police, them, that's why we have to move Google Gaga. Because him is a puppet. Him and just a baby, but a real, and a Sir Googs tonight, a Google Gaga straight. Sir Googs, we have Rattigan on here, Sir Googs, but a Google Gaga. And the other one looks, him and a police neither, not training or nothing. Put him up, them a camouflage, a fake police them. them are fake police. Them are not police.
So someone just said they want to hear from Mr. Herb.
Eh?
Someone just want to hear from Herb.
The main thing that I'm interested in from the legal standpoint is if there's adequate evidence, man in the wilderness, that the DPP or any other prosecutor is failing to do their duty, and you can establish a personal relationship between the people they're supposed to prosecute and themselves. Is there a legal definition, Will, that you can utilize, whether it is malfeasance, misfeasance, just a failure to perform? Is there a legal definition for it?
Yeah. If a public official fails to do what is required, and you can establish that one of the reasons for not doing what's required is because of a personal relationship with someone, a jail time we attack. Anywhere else but Jamaica it look like.
Anywhere else but Jamaica.
It's jail time. Because how can a prosecutor say, I have the evidence that this man committed a crime, but I'm not going to prosecute him because of abuse of... What she actually did is she actually make an argument for the defense when she's a prosecutor.
And you bring in on it at the same time.
Yeah, if you have the evidence, you bring it. You make them make the argument about abuse of process. Make them make that to the judge. That's your job. But you make it for them. I never hear this nonsense yet.
So that means. Go ahead.
You know, say, as bad as things are in America, you know, say, if that are the case, that politician I go to prison, or at least I go face the music in court. They're going to bring charges. And then the judge or the jury decide what they want, if they're going to find him guilty or not. But you can't just decide, say, you have the evidence and you're not going to bring charge, and there's no statute of limitations. If there were a statute of limitation, and she said, listen, this thing says you can only bring an action if it happens within 5 years from the commission of the crime. I know you're in your 6th year. Then you say, okay, the statute of limitation. Even if it was 5 years and you come 5 years and a day, and she said, well, I can't bring it because I'm 1 day over. People can say, well, the law is the law is the law. But when there's no statute of limitations, none for corruption, and you say, well, I'm not going to bring it because of abuse of process, and you don't explain what abuse of process is, this is what the Jamaican people need to question them people about. Instead of just sit down and just accept it and then move on to the next issue. That's why I love the panel here, because we don't make issues that issues don't come here to die. Issues come here to be revived. Right? If it's dead somewhere else, it come here and we revive them.
But you know something, Mr. Lonesome, Mr. Rattigan, and Mr. Nelson. You see, until the people of our country realize that they're not a PNP or a JLP, they're a Jamaican, and Jamaica should come first for them, they will not think along the lines of X, Q, Y, Z. People right now is saying that all we're there is chatting bad about the Prime Minister and chatting bad about this. Well, I'm going to make something clear to you. Not because me name Tavares, my gay back smash up. You can't go need a 7 or 11. When if you're going at first, you're clang, clang, clang. I came here by labor pain, not by party pain or aeroplane. The time has come for us to talk about this country.
Sorry to interrupt the defender, but it's an amazing thing, Jamaicans, abroad and at home, that when we criticize the government, as is our right, when we criticize the government, people get offended by it, and we're criticizing the government based on facts, not suppositions. Because the man in the wilderness, he might win, he might have everything right in front of him, they're next to them. And when him come out and him say, look, here's a photograph, here is a telephone call, here is this, here is that. Why is it that people get offended by it? Because here's what happened. When a prime minister is doing what is expected of him, we shouldn't praise him, because that's why we pay him.
Thank you.
That's why we pay him.
Yeah.
And because we're paying, we're supposed to criticize him when he do wrong, because the objective is to get him to do right. And if you don't criticize him, he might think him, make us say that him oblivious to everything we're going, him ignorant about the facts, and he might move down a certain path. And him don't know no difference, and it's the wrong path. It is our duty to say, Mr. Prime Minister, reverse course, you're going in the wrong direction, because we want him to succeed. We can't just make him go on and keep him out shut. We cannot do that. And we cannot praise him when him do what we are paying for do. If him do above and beyond that, then the accolades come in. Then you start saying, yeah, our Prime Minister this, him going good.
But to tell you the truth, if him start do good, then you know, here we not a panel, we go to the things them are going bad, forget them fix. So if him that do good, we need not call him name. But when him not do good, him might tell lie, he might lie this thing on the planet. When I say him tell truth and him right, him tell lie on him great granny brother.
No,
him tell lie on him mother and father. Him alone can't fix crime. Him say him alone
cannot do anything.
Everything when him say, it's
any
about
politician,
they tell the people them lie. You know, those scrap power and step into the people them. They use the most SOE for trample to get up people. Them.
We soon get to that. We soon get to that. Let me just say this. Man in the wilderness.
Yes.
Herb just put up an interesting stat. I don't know if you're looking at the private chat and see it. In 2021, the conviction rate for murder was 20.8%. So 79% of the people where them bring go a trial for murder get where. This are the DPP. Yep. This are the DPP we are talking about where them want to extend.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
People, Jamaicans at home and abroad, we want to listen carefully to what we are spoke tonight, as every night we do, pure facts. Pure facts. We're not talking about hearsay, maybe, not like that. I mean, look on it. The conviction rate for murders in Jamaica in 2021 was 20.8%. The converse is that 79% of the accused were acquitted.
Okay.
Acquitted.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you.
By
the way, if you take any one of the U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District, Southern District, in New York, let's just use that as an example. The conviction rate is 90-something%. Yeah. 90-something% of the people them bring got to come.
Because when they move to you, you know how it going on.
It does.
You know it go.
Yeah. So hold on,
read further though. If you read further, Man in the Wilderness, there are convictions in only 10% of the 52 rape cases, and 9% of those
for illegal firearm possession. People, I open up look on this.
That's a failure.
Open and look on this. 10% of the people them charged for rape get convicted. 90% of the people charged for rape get where. And look on that.
That's wisdom.
9% of the people them charged for illegal firearms get convicted. That means 91% of them get where.
All right, now think about what our spokesman was saying yesterday. Right? He was saying that the rape has gone down in Jamaica by over 40%. But if it's gone down over 40%, none of the people getting arrested.
That is it.
Right. 90% they get arrested. They walk. So it means it's a very poor investigations that are being done.
DPP.
I mean, you have to do
this year by year, every year.
But hold on, we need to see if she's gonna let Donnelly Donaldson case go scot-free, Because I am saying this tonight. If Paula Lulu now she want him, and Lily now she want him, gonna allow this man to murder Donnelly Donaldson.
Yeah, him now walk.
And he get away with it.
We can't tell you this. Him a smart fish, And me know that. We know say man underground and know what. Me can't tell you say him not gonna wait. You know who we want are the big boys, them the oligarch, question not charge.
Well,
do you understand? Him not gonna wait. So him never look at him. Him done, That's why I noticed him not get bail. Him not gonna wait. Me can't tell you that. You see the big boys, them like all the woman now with her son, I know not go on. You see the big boys, them all know them not get interview. The one them might go here say billions missing. You notice where real reader do. Him have the farming and a sell. Him get all money and enjoy himself. Him case call up yet? No.
What and I'm thinking, what happened to the Petro Jam case?
Part of it
I go to the court. But let me just add this one little piece here. If I were planning to commit murder, rape, and walk around with a gun in my waist, Jamaica is a perfect place to do it. Perfect place, because I have to look on my chances, I have to look on the odds. I have to say, well, wait a minute, me stand 80% chance of getting away if me murder somebody. 80% if me murder somebody, yes, and them charge me, I go get away. And if me rape, 10% chance so them me I go get convicted. 90% chance of me I go walk. And if me get charged with a gun, illegal gun, 91% chance that me I go walk. Then where is the deterrence? Where is the deterrence? Or the most stop me from doing what me want to do. You're gonna do what me want to do. This tells me that the judicial system is like a sieve. You go in and you just drop right through it. You go in and you just drop right through it. Them now hold nobody. Nobody now get stopped in it. You just go around, just drop right through it. If me's a grain of sand, a criminal and described as a grain of sand, we want to go at Jamaica go commit crime, because we shouldn't say it that way, because some people might take offense. Let me retract. I apologize for saying that. Let me just say that there is no deterrence looking at these numbers. There's no deterrence for somebody to stop committing murders, stop raping, and stop walking around with a gun in them ways.
But looking for this, when Herb Nelson asks the gentleman of the Senate if he's aware of any judge collecting anything under false pretense, what did he answer? He said, Mr. Nelson?
He denied. He went into denial. He was defending the government the entire time, right? Because we asked also about the defense of criminals who are known dons or known habitual offenders, but these criminals happen to support the government financially. Not just the government, but the opposition as well, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So when you have this kind of stuff that is going down, and you have the head of the Senate who has made a lot of money defending some of the worst criminals in Jamaica, right? Then crime does pay.
Aye.
Crime pay. Your big time lawyers and the big time lawyers are gonna get these defendants off. And of course, what was said the other day was that you need a lawyer, not one who graduated at the top of the class in law school, right? But one who is familiar with all the judges around town.
Yeah, the thing is that if you need a good lawyer, get one who knows the law. If you need an outstanding lawyer, get one who knows the judge.
There you go.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When I asked the question a while ago, you know what, Jeff, I got a call a while ago.
When them said, Jeff, if you shut up. When them the threat here, Jeff, just tell me who one call the name. Can we deal with it, you know? When them just said, go ahead, Jeff.
Let us switch this conversation from the good gentleman, please.
No, man.
No, man, when I switch it, Jeff.
You think
one call on a panel. I make Jeff shut up. Jeff.
You take the microphone and call the win.
Just call the win and tell the winner what go on. Tell the win what go on, man. Jeff, call the winner.
I must say good night to some of my family members who are watching us.
Yeah.
Good night. You know, Sir Jeff Tavares is a different kettle of fish.
So what you do? You want them family member. You can't call us to Jeff on your side.
I simply ask a question. I did not call any name. So if you don't want to vex tonight, I'm sorry for you, but that's what I'm
Thank you.
I really don't care.
Hey, I remind you something, Jeff. My mother have a brother that look nasty better than you know. My bunny mouth straight. Jeff, no moving on. My mother have a look nasty better than my mother brother. You hear who? I'm a granny son. My mother brother. Remember, we are them nothing, you know. I'm a mother brother. Look at nastiness. Me born that straight. You understand? So me no really pet people. You see me, and me no do that. Me no in that thing there. And me no you know around put them neither. We no busy about your family, your wife and your kids. Them, yeah, Jeff, you're lucky. You understand? Them turn relative now.
I mean,
them go sit down.
I mean, yes, you have to, you know, have a little caliber behind the name and whatever of the certain name. But the fact of the matter is, you call a spade a spade.
Good.
I mean, never call no name.
So I guess that's it for you for Thanksgiving dinner and barbecue.
That's for them business.
Christmas dinner. Sunday dinner, them done with you now.
Dave, you can't get cars for warm you up. You want to meet them up there.
I just simply said something on the phone when I have the hooker ready to buy.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
You might as well talk it up because them don't have you up already.
Finish it, Jeff.
No.
Neither
you nor Rattigan drive me out tonight because you know.
Jeff get 12 feet.
Because regardless of what, you know, you have to have a little you know, protection of the you know.
Where's the Jeff? Them
can't get a what? You can't just little respectability there, you know.
No, but remember, you know, respect. But we're about party and them thing there, you know. So
but the fact of the matter is, I did not call in the name, you know. I just said a good gentleman from the Senate. Yes. I did not call in the name, and I got a call. So stand down.
Stand down. Me tell you, say them sitting and watching, Jeff. And when them watch, them a call there and tell you, say boop boop, stand down, where man. You not call the name.
So
much people in the Senate.
The last time there was any success, according to this 2016 article, Assistant Commissioner of Police Elan Powell, head of the CIB, said that the DPP reported 12 of the 18 murder cases tried this year, and this is 2016, 66.6% resulted in convictions. That was the last improvement in murder cases. Everything else been running in the 20 to 25% range.
It's bad.
Yeah, hi.
It's bad.
Hold on, get a call. Hello, caller.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on? Greetings to Will and Herb and to Jeffrey. You see, just what happened to Jeffrey a while ago is Exhibit A for the problem that is in Jamaica.
Yes.
When you cannot speak out against what is happening without somebody saying, "Oh no, don't touch that." What is he saying that is wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If he's addressing something, he's addressing something. Well, yesterday I got a chance to listen to some of the conversation between Will and Dennis Brooks. And the fact of the matter is, he may be a nice guy, separate and apart from his job, but a very poor, whatever his
strategist
is. Yeah, listen, he has a fancy title, it means nothing.
Nothing. Him and a police neither, sister. Yeah,
exactly. And on top of that, the questions that Will was asking him were basic questions. I can understand if there's something that has security implications where he can say, well, he cannot discuss at this time given the nature of whatever the situation is. But basic questions. And when he was talking to him about the 91% failure rate that this man got, and he was basically making it look like it's a beautiful thing. And if he was in a company, how they would hold on to this man. And what I don't like people talking about, when you address something that is happening in Jamaica, they say, oh, but it is happening somewhere else. Nobody cares about that.
Thank you.
We are addressing the issue that we're dealing with on hand. Do not tell me about it happening in Timbuktu, happening in America. That's beside the point. It happening in America has nothing to do with what you're addressing that's happening in Jamaica. And they need to move away from that and stop saying that it's happening there. And what I've realized is that they have all this fancy talk and it really means nothing. So the people are left there wondering, what kind of leaders do we have? Because all they're doing is you ask them a question
questions, and they're not giving you the answer. And another thing that what is happening in Jamaica is that because of the free market society, it has taken the power away from the people and concentrated it in the hands of a few.
Mm-hmm.
So the masses are shut out of the whole thing. So just the 1% is controlling the wealth of the 99%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you don't have a government that is working with the people, because times gone by, the government was a government that worked in partnership with the people.
Mm-hmm.
The farmers were an essential part of the government structure. This education, the healthcare, so it all formed a part of that. But when they removed that from it, when they removed that kind of social structure, where the people were a part of the governing of the country, and they brought in the capitalist free market society, then it shut out an entire group of people that have a say. So no wonder you have the Jamaica that we have now, because it's only a few people who have the power, and nobody can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can talk to them, and that is why we are where we are. That is why we have a DPP who is not going anywhere. And like I think it was Jeffrey who said that there's no guarantee that the deputy is going to get that job. They might have somebody who is one of their cronies. Now, how does that help the country? Now, and that is what people are looking at. If you're not holding the people who are committing the corruption accountable, how can you be talking to the little man who goes to steal a banana on the street?
That's it.
You see, it doesn't make any sense. And since the statute of limitations does not run out on corruption, it's high time that you, Carsteri, and all those people who are coming from England or SSL, I mean, it's high time for them to be held accountable.
Them don't even interview him yet, Carla. Them don't even interview him yet.
Why? But why? That makes no
because
sense.
If you touch him, you're going to touch half of the government. And name enough people. That's why they don't want no feds there, because we have some feds brethren who are ready to go take the job, you know. But they don't want,
There are more than enough people. There are more than enough qualified people to be part of the government. But they have to change out the system of government where they are governing from the top down and from the bottom up. When you govern from the bottom up, you include the masses. So you know what is happening in Moko, you know what is happening in Veer, you know what is happening in East Kingston, because the people are involved. When you're only involved in the private sector, then you only have the hoteliers involved. Mm-hmm. You only have the Chinese involved.
Mm-hmm. And those big guys,
big small farmers. All right. Exactly. You see, so you have the has to be going from the bottom up. And so that's why we're having the problem in Jamaica that we're having now, because it's a bottom down type of governance, and they shut out all the other people. So there's nobody to talk to. You cannot talk to them because they're going to let you know that no, you're not qualified enough to talk to me.
And you know what though? You listen the thing with Will them yesterday, right? And books come here, listen part of the tape, and books come up and him put this man, I put him on a pedestal, I put the great Sir Books on a pedestal. Yeah. And tell you the truth, when you walk going to a police station, you know, if him did a work, so like what this man has said, the books, he has said what them do and transformation. When you're going to a police, you don't see police that smile with you and you don't feel comfortable to talk to a police. Instead of when you're going to a police station, you're where you are? Who you come from? Go over this.
And so, yes, you're saying all of these wonderful things in the communications thing, but on the ground, what you're saying is not translating on the ground.
That is not true.
All of this fancy talk is just fancy talk. It makes no sense.
You know, they have to face reality.
Because the reality of the situation is there are police stations that are dilapidated. There are police stations without patrol cars. There are policemen without guns.
Mm-hmm. And bad vests.
So,
and them go by, yes.
And there are policemen without enough uniforms. So what is he really saying? He's saying...
And policemen with the shoes at the back of my foot.
Of course.
And a policeman who needs, like Will said to him, if they did an inspection of the guard, for what kind of guard they could, the honor guard, something like that, if they had done an inspection, he would have realized that the man's uniform was ill-fitting.
Yeah.
So somewhere somebody has dropped the ball, yet he is there as the communications director or strategist or whatever fancy name he has. He's there singing the praise of this man who is a total failure. How can be singing the praises of a man who is failing, who is failed.
But them don't even see it, you know. If I play some police right now, the man them are going so, but I've got to change up them voice because I don't want to play them like that. But I've never changed them voice and play them, you know. But you is a group, so much of them, you play them and you don't believe a police, I get so angry.
Well,
as this man for go home is not a police.
What Dennis Brooks is basically saying in a nutshell, you know, is that yes, you know, just a few people saying that you really cannot read. He's basically saying don't read too much into. Is that they're saying don't believe your lying eyes. He said don't read too much into what they're saying, you know, because he's like he's trying to imply that the rank and file is supporting this man, which makes
nothing no go so.
Which really makes no sense because the evidence is in front of you.
Yes.
Look at what happened with Beryllium in Portmore the other day.
All right.
What more do you want? Is that there's no police, there's no efficient policing, law enforcement in Jamaica. What more evidence do you want?
I'm not talking about the world crime scene contaminated. Are the people them are the hero because them are telling the one that take up the lady and carry her and the whole place contaminated. I'm not talking about the police today and make everybody go home. You don't know if any more in the
but think about it. Everybody's in a state of shock because the criminals have more high-powered weapons than the police, the law enforcement. Don't you think everybody's going to scatter because at the end of the day, everybody's going to want is protecting their life. And the people there were trying to save the security woman's life.
Of course.
So whatever they had to do to get her to a hospital, they did that, including moving the very evidence that they needed, which is a vehicle that had the bullet holes in there. And
that are the evidence, you know, you move your tampered evidence. But you have to do it. Them have to do it. No ambulances. No police will come and call now. No hospital because they have to drive far, but they want to turn it in a parish. And no hospital, regional hospital, nothing.
And that is what I'm saying. Dennis Brooks is talking and trying to make this man look good. And that is evidence. That is a first glaring evidence in front of your face. You want more evidence? What about the police who have police stations with no patrol cars?
Yes.
Radio's not working. Police don't have guns. How can you go there checking in the government to check them in? What kind of police is that? In 2023? And then to say, oh, this has been going on for such a long time. Then don't you think it is high time that this is rectified? Why is it the go-to answer is, it has been happening for a long time, so, but we have, no, it can be better. It shouldn't be that a police officer is going home unprotected. It makes no sense.
Yes.
It makes no sense. It shouldn't be that there's a police station that doesn't have a patrol car. Are you kidding me? So how are they going to take care of an area, do their duties to an area? They cannot. Okay. How are they going to serve the people of that community? They cannot. But I'm telling you, it is mind-boggling how these politicians operate because they assume that the people they are talking to don't have the degrees that they have. So how dare them question us?
You know what? We'll cut off at the next 7 minutes, right? But hear this now. Can you imagine why Jamaica now run right? You just imagine this. You have this guy where he's a model, I see my model. Then in my social media something, and then American News Star. Then they catch him, put him in a police clothes. And call him police. I mean, I tell you up front, I'm not smiling, you know. When me I tell you, you make me laugh. No, but him and a police. Him a social media influencer. So a specialist. So him turn police. And him not trainer now. Him not go train and you put gun on him. Him shoot all baby. And go baby them to be careful, you know. You can't give him no gun for work with brother. Him and a police.
But here's the thing. What about the people who have worked all their lives for this
Thank
job?
you. I want and this guy gone up in the rank.
Who would do this job and who would know exactly what to say. They would have had the answers for Will yesterday. You know why they would have had the answers for Will? Because they came up through the ranks.
Thank you.
They came up through the ranks. So
but that's thing, that's why I'm a man with us big up Bailey, Fitz Bailey, because Fitz Bailey said, hey, me know, Me not overcrash the police, and me a real police. I'm a feel what you say. I'm a cap this to that. You know, Google him attack, you know, so I'm a cap him again. Of course, it's a great policeman.
These people based on who they know and put them in jobs because they're social media influencers or this.
And turn policeman, social media influencer, turn police.
And just give the man he has a gun, he has a uniform, he is a police, but he's not a policeman.
He may not tell him can't talk, speak police language, and not him and Google the same thing.
How is a policeman? How is a policeman when you see this man here as a social media influencer with a badge and a uniform?
Can you imagine? Everybody in a social media uniform influencer, I'm going to say, you will have to give me good and bad too, you know. Good and bad, you have to get good and bad too. This is our police. And then I come and I praise like him think in the end when all them praise, then I go I praise Fugo Gaga.
Do that because you know something, a policeman who came up to the rank and file and earned his stripes,
yes,
and got that job would know exactly what to say. He would know how to talk about his boss and call a spade,
yes, without
being disrespectful and without losing his job.
You know, sorry caller. You know who the good gentleman of the JCF remind me of? Our good friend from Montego Bay, the deputy mayor.
I was listening to him and I said to myself, this young man, he's behaving like a robot.
Because them program him.
He's just regurgitated. Yes.
Well, him have some algorithms. I'm have some algorithms. Some algorithms, man.
Are you accusing
algorithms, you know?
Going to a crowd full of public relations?
No. I'm not talking anything with sense.
It is a sad state of affairs, but it's not one that cannot be rectified. Because if Singapore could have gone to Jamaica and got their model for developing their country, Jamaica can use their own model to make a temperature place.
True.
You know, your speaker makes some very valiant points, salient points, and what I would say to her is this: you know that even the NYPD,
yes,
the NYPD hires TV personalities and promotes them to assistant commissioner of police, and then they will do this what you call a spin. All these spin doctors are being hired in different departments because this is what their job is to make the worst of the worst look very good in the face of adversity. So we understand what the role is for Mr. Brooks. And so you ask him the pertinent questions, and he's either able to answer it or not. But then you realize that they haven't briefed him up sufficiently, or they put him under restrictions on the types of questions he can answer. Because even though he admitted that they do SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, he couldn't speak to none of it. He didn't want to speak to any of it. Not even the good parts he wanted to speak to. Because even if he spoke to the strengths, then he would be subject to examination of those strengths. And then he would have to end up defending what he just said. So he didn't want to say anything. So really and truly, he wasn't prepared or cleared sufficiently.
May I make Will say something, but may I say something to you? He never want to speak about certain things because they might tell about secret and everything. But yes, still when Mouthpiece Radio cook the breaking news, we just hear that according to incredible source. What the incredible source? What according to in one source and reliable source and incredible reliable source. What the reliable source?
Know him.
Okay, so him can give them information, but when him come on Rattigan thing, him can't talk. It make any sense, Rattigan?
No.
And always I lead people straight to because them run up and answer Gene Pant and one the place. Me can't play it back. Yesterday, it's number one place. On the whole complex, according to the news. I will play it. I want to hear it.
You know what was interesting, and we didn't follow because there are so many points I could have followed up with yesterday with Dennis. But if you listen carefully to what he said in response to Herb's question about SWOT analysis, right? He said that he had attended conferences and that meetings and that each division, I believe he said that they did their plans. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, and telling the High Commission, basically telling management what they were planning to do for that year, for that fiscal year. We would love to see those plans. We would love, because those plans then, that's the first time I hear about anything like a crime plan.
Yep.
That's the first time I heard it yesterday. We would love to see it, and the public has a right to know what's going on, because in
transparency.
Yeah, because in those plans, they have to say what their projected, the projections for their investigations for the year. So they'll say, we're going to cut murders by 10%. We're going to cut rape by 10%. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I would love to see it, because then when you see it, you can actually judge the performance.
Yep.
Right? So, but you know what? Watch. This is similar to the job letter that the Prime Minister said he's going to give all of his ministers, and then he's going to hold them accountable. What happened to that?
For 2.5 years, turned 7. I don't know.
What happened to the job letter?
Turn my teeth it. Here, remember, let's play about this. This I come from out speech radio. Listen this now. Listen, I remember, this an incredible source, reliable source, an incredible source, and all kind of source. Them always mouthpiece radio. Just listen this now. Listen here. Listen this.
Nationwide news. We are currently at a luxurious Kingston 6 apartment complex here in Upper St. Andrew, where police have swooped in to collect data and other items related to the U.S. multi-million-dollar fraud at Stocks and Investments Limited. We understand that the building they have targeted is owned by Jean Ann Panton. She is the senior manager at SSL at the middle of these fraud investigations. Police have cordoned off the area and have restricted her access to the property because of fears that it could endanger the suspect and other people who may be residents here. We will provide you with more.
Residents, so she own the building. And when you look now, the lawyer for come out and say, listen, do man I rent shop here. Do man even one apartment in here. And them new, and yes, still him can reliable source. Every minute, news flash. We get it from reliable source. So him can go tell where my work. And it's okay. But when you talk to him now, him can't talk because the police, this and that, and you have seen us tragedies. Them want to strategize and tell people lie. And it's straight lie. Him and no police. Him not get no training. You see him and him come here and say, I want to take paper police. Move from front of me, man. Move, man. Kind of police that better. I mean, straight with a straight face, him not the police.
You know,
when him not take off the uniform. Go back to the radio station, man. You do better down there, man. We no come here with no lie business. No come here and come push up no goods. Because number one, you can't make goods look good. Let me tell you, say, Lucius Thomas is a man where every rank and file can go in and office go talk to him. You can't do it with Google. You have to carry a crib and tricycle and all kind of things, man. You can't do it with Google there. Yeah, man.
Wait, before you go though.
Yes.
I think the People's National Party or members of the Jamaican public should take Desmond McKenzie along with the government of Jamaica to court. Read the local government election. It is constitutionally due. Don't tell us we don't have the money. Yet in the same breath as we don't have any money. In the same breath, the Minister of Finance find $1 billion more to put in how much $1 trillion budget they have.
Can you imagine?
Huh?
It's bad.
So the people of the country must wait until next year for the local government election, in which modern democracy this nonsense continues to happen more than in Jamaica, where a prime minister came out and said, in my first 100 days, there'll be term limits and there'll be fixed election date. We're waiting on it now. It's 2,000 and how much days gone. And until now, this prime minister who keep on lying to the people of this country, all them lying up.
But that one I lie, man, and beat yo. I am at the serpent, you must trick Eve. No, man, you must the serpent. I'm telling lie to the serpent.
Lie to the people of this country.
The man lie, bad man.
The people of Jamaica must stand up now, and members of the diaspora must come together and sue this government.
True. No, they might follow what we are doing now.
This nonsense happen.
They might follow what we are doing.
And not only that again, Mr. Rattigan, before we go again, how is it that we're well in a land of wood and water? And he had breaking news a couple of days ago about water crisis. When last have we built a water reservoir in this country? The amount of water falls in this country. And you're saying that Jamaica having crisis every year is the same bangarang? Our people don't have water, meanwhile them have water enough for them pipe, beer them, whatever.
Well, next week, Saturday, I'm hoping I'll have Young Samuda. I don't remember his first name. That's why I call him Young
Matthew Samuda.
What's his name? Matthew. Right. He's in charge of environmental affairs. I'm hoping to have him on next week, and we'll see where we go with that, because the man in the wilderness showed something recently where he had raw sewage flowing out into Kingston Harbor, and you had people fishing out in Kingston Harbor.
I've been going on for years.
Dangerous, yes, for years.
So we want to find out about that. And then some people, again, with your indulgence, man in the wilderness, some people have been saying to me that I should advertise my little program. What I'd like to say is that the three of us, Herb doesn't have his own program, but he doesn't need to have his own program because we're here. Yeah, he's here. And he's here. Yeah, and he's not going to be. But Jeffrey has his own. Yeah, but Jeffrey has his program. The man in the wilderness has his program. My program is Reason with Rattigan, and it comes on every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on www.reggaeglobalradio.com. That's www.reggaeglobalradio.com. And for those of you lovers in the house, I do a program at midnight on Saturday, midnight to 2 a.m. Sunday. It's called Relax with the Rebel. And if you really want to listen to some nice slow jams and some cool jazz, tune into that. Same radio station, www.reggaeglobalradio.com. Now you can just Google Reggae Global Radio and you'll find me there. 3 to 6 every Saturday and midnight to 2 Saturday night into Sunday morning.
You know what I do know? One of them radio they know maybe me do. But more I do an earlier, depends on an earlier thing. Let me give them some real reggae music, you know.
You should.
Yes, man. But I give them some real thing. I give them the history.
Yeah.
I give them some history. But I forgot pick out a little spot right now go bother me. I remember saying me is a man where multitask, you know.
Yes.
But them want me, then they say, yo, you want to teach a thing and you're on the greatest them work, you know.
Maybe you can have Jeffrey play some calypso and film thing.
No man, I don't want Jeffrey to play because you have some guy who do snake and belly dancing. We move with it. Come up in a St. Mary this, so you have to be careful.
Weird. Tell me yourself, man.
Eh?
My program comes
Millard. Oh, my lad. Oh.
No, I do believe that Jeffrey's uncle was appraised of your midnight program. He said he would.
Well, I hope it tunes in.
On that note, my program Make We Talk comes on every Tuesday on Route 76.1 FM, but also it's on my YouTube channel. So you can go to Make We Talk Jeff Tavares YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. It comes over on that. It also comes over on Jam Talk Vibes Radio. Jam Talk Vibes Radio is an internet radio station owned and operated by the Tavares Media Group. Right now, Jam Talk Vibes Radio, there's some little glitch on it, so it's down at the moment. My engineer, who is my good friend, my brother, Owen Brown from Roots FM, is working on it. Gonna be back up soon. So every Tuesday we come on, and during the week we come on with some, interesting story pertaining to our country and in the Caribbean. I think on March 11th, I'll be having the Prime Minister of Grenada as a guest on my program with Wilfred Rattigan, and I think Wayne's going to come on too. We're going to speak about Haiti. What is CARICOM doing for Haiti? Because if we don't be careful, Jamaica will be knocking behind Haiti's back door soon.
It's knocking there.
Yes, it is. So I'm gonna have.
By the way, you have to have on Herb because of the Caribbean Institute.
Yes.
Herb has a bunch of knowledge regarding that.
No, the panel.
So it will be. We're gonna have the Prime Minister of Grenada comes on. He's a young man. Very, his name is Mitchells. I don't know his first name. But we're gonna come on and we're gonna speak about. I'm gonna try and get my good friend, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent the Grenadine.
Who's that, Gonzalez?
Comrade Gonzalez. He said, don't call him Mrs. I said, Comrade. He's also a person.
Let me just say, so I just got a message here. Somebody asked if I'm on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, and I think they have like 6 summer programs or 7 programs up there already. So you can go and check them out. And by the way, just so the audience, just so that they know, every week I consistently send out invitations to government ministers. Because at one point people say, oh, come on, those pure PNP people are compounding program. Well, that's because the JLP people don't want to come. Because I invite them. I invite Minister Chang. I invite Minister Babsy Grange. I send it out. I invite Minister, what's his name? Robert Morgan. Robert Morgan. Every week I invite them, almost every week. And so far they've refused to show up and look, my problem is not like the Man in the Wind program, because the Man in the Wind, him go hard, when you're coming out. Kind of him facts and him line up everything and prepare for you. My thing is just come and say, just come reason with me. Just come reason with me. We can reason with that and make with that second. Yeah, so, we just can't talk.
No, man, no good, man.
But you know what? Somehow some people just have glutton for punishment because them not come on my program when I say, just come talk to me. Them come on the Man in the Wilderness program and the man
But hold on, but the Minister of Misinformation, Robert Morgan, will not come on the program with Mr. Rattigan.
No.
Whenever I see Robert Morgan come on your program, then I said, okay. But I know he's not going to come.
No, but remember, I'm not really in the sense of,
Somebody tell me I should make a correction because they did say that the president of the Senate, the Honorable Tom Tavares Wil, he was on my program 2 consecutive weeks. And that's true. I stand corrected. But I think he's the only person from the government, from the Labour Party who's been on the pro. I think so. Yeah, because all the other JLP officials that I've talked to them either on your program, Jeffrey, or on the Man in the Wilderness, his program. So only one person has responded. And just so you know, the invitation went out to him to come and talk about civics, to educate the Jamaican public about how Parliament works and voting and all of that stuff, because they took civics out of the curriculum, school curriculum. And so I was asking to come in so that we can educate the public. And that's he came, but he was gracious enough to come in and say, listen, you can ask me any questions. I wish the others would follow suit and come like him. But instead of me, they don't want to talk to somebody soft like me. They want to talk to the Man in the Wilderness and Jeffrey. And when them go on the program, come on, them hammer this.
No, but okay, let's start. But I feel juke them the sun, them are run off, and I just come. All right, hear this now. I'm going to fling it. Google Gaga, me will sue you. And I'm not joke, will sue you.
Who you want to sue?
Sir Googs. So Sir Googs.
What is your police?
You make the announcement? You make the announcement?
No, I'm not show them when I file this week. So everything can
but you talk to them and tell them the people where you plan for the or you just going
to I'm show them. I show them it by if not filed by 2-3 days. It will file this week definitely. And then I show them say it filed in the court. And when I file it, they're going to talk about it. When I put it, we just have file it and then deal with it. We're not business, Google we have to move him. No man, he have to go home, man.
And we need to find out if Minister Babsy Grange that she travel to Ethiopia to get her name is now, Her Excellency, the Honorable Babsy Grange, O.D. O. Sinting OSS or whatever they want to call it. She's now anointed by the King of Ethiopia, I think. She's now Her Excellency. So when she traveled to there, was it on the behalf of the taxpayers of Jamaica? Or was it a personal trip?
They must the taxpayers, but they not pay the money. The boss said they not make the money.
I'm making another call again, Jeffrey, shut him out.
And you know what's funny? Remember, not this past Friday, the Friday before, the Minister of Health and Wellness, he said on your program, Man in the Wilderness, that the ambassador, the Jamaican ambassador to the United States, the Honorable Audrey Marks, or Ambassador Audrey Marks, said that she's hardworking and because in CR Pamplin all the time. I mean, I said, well, and CR Pamplin going weird.
That mean work.
Going weird, you know. CR Pamplin flight from Jamaica to here. From flight to Jamaica to here, and I've made the argument time and time again that she should go back to being a businesswoman. She's very successful, very good at it. Diplomacy, that's not her forte.
She's an ambassador. You know, if she have work, you know, talk to people in the diaspora. You have some people who really need some help in the place. Because we know, say, you have some people, them now, you know, them thing not right up and thing. I should have try reach to them and make sure them are right and thing, and then we'll see the work. If you sit up on a plane and fly up and down like pan plane with taxpayers' money or the money which they make out for the passport and thing, that is not the work, brother. You have fly up on a plane like is a nice ride, a fly up and down.
You know who should get the ambassadorship? The guy in Miami.
Yeah, he's good. Mayor.
Yeah.
I one of the day. We need to talk to Mayor.
I put him on my program already, you know.
Yeah, that guy.
We need to carry him over here. Yeah, man, we carry him over. We carry him, man. We want to carry him over here. One of them town meeting.
No, I agree with you. That guy, he's outstanding. The guy's outstanding.
Yeah, we need to carry him over. Yeah, man.
Hold on, I correct somebody in this chat room here. I am not a jacket Tavares. I'm a full bred Tavares. I'm not a jacket, please.
Oh, somebody say a jacket?
You
look like one.
Yes.
You look like one.
You're misbehaving, Jeffrey, so you cannot be at Tavares.
No, because I am not taking. Listen to me. I tell you something, you know. My family is my family. My cousins are my cousins. I am Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, let me give you a piece of advice. I heard this a long time ago.
Give me the advice.
Here's the advice. 2 words. Ignore ignorance.
True.
No, you don't have to explain nothing.
Simple.
Just move on to the next.
But my advice is, I say, my mother have a look at nasty, brother. And you know, to tell me that the piece of crap there, eat. You have to keep water my way. And me don't talk. And it all about me now. I want to business. Stop watching me to man. You have to go to man. Now watch you on your man. Oh, panel different. Move. Because me talk straight. Me man nothing to me, you know, my mother, brother. You see me, my father, brother, them, my uncle, them dead out. So me have no more uncle again. You understand? But my mother have a little nasty brother there. Him to go hold in corner. You understand? And so me do it. See, my family are with me, you know. Me not play the game there with people, you know. And nobody not tell me about blood and water. Nobody not bring that to me. Now my wife and my kids, them and my grandkids, my good. My good. You understand? Yeah, man. All right. With the young people, it's enough time I run out. I mean, you know it. Me telling them say it's a act, you know. I want to know who are police who are police. You know, next week again we there. Maybe you see what pop up tomorrow because we always have things for a bus on the place. Herb?
Yes. We'll get some cars that will big up your program from Florida, from Arizona, you know?
Yeah, man. Straight up, man. Big up the whole place. You know, so that's how well it's straight, you know. Yeah, man. Herb?
We're going to do a program more about the young girl business and see, they say that JCF is using technology. If you get a DNA lab up and running, how comes you don't have more technology to identify whose DNA is breeding the young 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-old females in Jamaica?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? If they're that good with technology.
Yeah, good. That's what I say. Them for set example. Ask it. You see, sometimes you have to look in and look up what one. Ask it, just go ask St. Mary, ask on St. Mary. You have some politicians mingle up in these things too, you know. Yes. And we not play with them none at all. We not play with them. Them to set example. When a big man, grown man, leave the little baby them alone. We don't talk. But there are no people. It's you know 2.5 hours, you know. That's like 2.5 hours. It run fast. When we attack 2.5 hours, run fast. Yeah.
But but Wayne, it look like Ratty not finished now. Herb not finished yet, you know. I don't want to talk some more.
I'm more than 2.5 or 2 and 3/4 in the 3 hours.
Yes.
No, because you know what one I was down in Jamaica last year, and I was trying to start up a radio show, and I was talking to a very, very prominent businessman, lawyer in Jamaica, and I was asking him about content, and he said to me, "Listen, you don't have to worry about content because Jamaica is content rich. Every day there's a story, every day." And I said to myself, "Nah, I'm not know about that." But he's right. I'm right. Every day there's something new for talk about.
There is.
Every day.
There is. And I must say, thanks to, and let me say, I'm not a PNP either. My gave smash up, but I must say thanks to the beautiful young lady from the PNP side, Senator Gabriela Morris. A gorgeous lady there. She's going places. She's going places.
How about my good friend, the deputy mayor?
Deputy mayor, him need to just haul and pull up and shape up something and stop Desmond McKenzie, the prime minister, can't tell him pure damn nonsense. Somebody call and tell him something, you know. When I say what the PM called you, no man, no. But Gabriela Morris, she's going places. She speaks her mind, and the young people can listen to her.
And how about Ambassador Asamba?
Oh Lord, Ambassador Luma Samba.
That woman should,
lady.
If there's something as a national treasure, should be this woman here.
That lady always laughing. Always
she has a beautiful personality, man. She just envelop you. She does. I mean, to know this woman is to love her. I mean, I just spoke to her briefly, I think once or twice before she came on the show. And I mean, it was just a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
wonderful
man.
thing.
Yes.
I met her once at a function. I think they had at the Jamaica Conference Center, the credit union department, credit union banks had something down there, and I'm a member of the credit union. And I went down there, and someone introduced me to her, a warm person. But what I did, I followed her when she was ambassador, and when she was speaking about reparation for Jamaica, she spoke about it on your program yesterday, Will.
Yeah.
When I listened to that woman speak, believe you me, she speak with such eloquent about Jamaica. And someone was saying to her, but the slave, whatever, build schools or whatever in Jamaica. And she was like, no. I'm talking about now. Have you read her history? Or what went on in Jamaica and the plantation farms in Jamaica?
And she made an outstanding point yesterday when she said, listen,
my God.
The people who talk about, the slave owners, they build schools, they build churches, they build roads. And she said, yeah, but they build the roads from the house to the port. And then build the school for the children. They didn't build any of that for the slaves. They didn't build any of that for the slaves.
And that's the same answer she gave to the person at the London area they were having the discussion. She and an Indian gentleman who is a British person, but his descendants, I think, from Trinidad or somewhere there.
Yeah, the London, was it the Oxford?
Yes,
Oxford Union.
Oxford Union. Yes. Yeah. When you listen to Ambassador Luma Samba speaks about our country, believe you me, she doesn't speak as an ambassador of the from the People's National Party. She speaks as an ambassador on behalf of Jamaica. With such passion in her voice about the country. Believe you me, man.
You know what? That's a need, You need. Remember, all right. So you have 2 parties, all right. This is what me I tell them, right? You have 2 parties. You just farm 2 parties. Most of them are friends, But when you win, you run something to win because you say me want to go on this way. You turn government. You know, I'm the government of PMP or GLP stamp. You have government of Jamaica. And you are serve the people now. You are servant of the people. You're there to serve the people. The prime minister, the chief servant. you know, they have to step in at them neck, the masses, and then for private sector you run and then line your pocket and blow about money and be a corruption. It will stop.
You know,
no proper education system, no proper health system, no water, no the infrastructure pop down and everything. And then you want to tell we can't see good. We know about good road and everything. You have to say, but me at work. Stop it, man.
But you know, Wayne,
one
person that we need to acknowledge also, a great man, a man from the soil, a man who speaks from his heart, Ambassador Curtis Ward.
Of course.
Who has served his country well.
Of course, 100%.
Ambassador Curtis Ward who have served Jamaica well. And some people who are in government want to put, and I start talking about, you know, Robert Morgan, the Minister of Misinformation. Go and do the history.
Bug life attack. Bug life. Bug life. I'm going to show him too.
No.
Bug life.
Ambassador Ward. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Who do you think would be a better JLP leader since they're the party that formed the government? Because, you know, I've been hearing things through the grapevine and there's a steady drumbeat of support for Minister of Health and Wellness, Christopher Tufton, saying that he's the next Prime Minister, that the PSOJ. And I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I'm hearing, that they're grooming him to take over from the current Prime Minister.
Can you imagine are the people them supposed to groom who them want to lead and a PSOJ? That's why we have a problem. PSOJ is on for the people and them groom who them want.
But at them control the power.
That mean that have to line them pocketed so on body, you know. Me not like not where PSOJ groom, you know. Them not supposed to groom nobody.
I'm going to be honest.
It's serious. Because this happened to Jamaica. When you have the private sector groom who them want, that means the people, the masses suffer. You understand? It be very careful. We have to be very careful. Now listen, Jeff.
I'm going to be very honest this evening. Be very, very honest. I get to know Christopher Tufton through the late Russell Hammonds in Westmoreland. He has leadership qualities, yes. But a lot of people argue the way how he handled the Ministry of Health. They'll argue about that also. I don't know if Jamaica or the Labour Party is ready for Christopher Tufton as leader. He has what it takes to be, you know, the charismatic thing about him. He speaks fluently. I mean, you know. But I don't know if, as I said before, I don't know if they're ready for Christopher Tufton to become a JLP leader. And why I say that, you have other members in the party who has been there before before Minister Tufton. And they're going to say, you know, why don't you give to him? You know, we're going to say, boy, you know, and I think they should give it to a lady this time.
Well,
you have vibrant young people in the Labour Party, women who I think they should give a chance to become a leader of the party.
Yes,
and where a woman can lead this country. Portia Simpson-Miller did well for Jamaica.
Yes, them forget a woman for true. Yeah, man, you're right.
And I think it's full-time the Labour Party, who's the second oldest political party maybe in the Caribbean. I'm not sure. But I know the PNP is the first. I think they should give a woman of the Labour Party to become leader. Because women have a tendency to have a feeling of what is going on within the nooks and cranny of the country areas in the country. So what I mean? Yes. That's what I'm saying. But in the name of Jesus, have mercy, dear God. Who is that?
Bug Life.
Who is Bug?
We didn't say no one talk to him. You didn't say no one talk to him. Eh?
Who is Bug Life? Wait.
You have misinformation.
But on a very serious note, I mean, if they want to give it to Christopher Tufton, then I think he has a little leeway to be, maybe. Does he have prime minister qualities? We don't know. But I know a Christopher Tufton maybe can work, but I believe they should give it to a woman.
You know what I would like to say? Lots of things I'd like to see.
Yes.
And one of the things I'd like to see is the politicians, that they take somebody, especially those with garrison communities in their constituencies, have a mentorship program where you take some of those children, young men and women, right? And you start grooming them to become a part of representational politics. Because far too often what we see the politicians groom them picnic.
Yes.
Or them groom
and them wife.
Or them friend, right?
Yes.
And we don't see because look, Waterhouse, them have a whole heap of brilliant people down there. And yet still none of them as MP. Never, none of them as MP. Nobody from down there as MP. No disrespect to Mr. Hilton. None whatsoever. But it's just that it's about time we start recognizing these people and that them have talent too, and that all of them need some of these people, all they need is an opportunity.
Sure.
Give them an opportunity.
Sure.
Mr. Rattigan, you're right. Because one of Mr. Herb coming and I'm talking too much. But so you're right. When you listen to Gabriella Morrison spoke at the PNP conference, her speech is way better than the leader's speech. If I send her speech to you, that young lady spoke to the young people of Jamaica. Senator Morrison spoke to the young people of Jamaica. And she said to them, the time has come for you all to stand up. When I listen to the young lady speak, believe me, man, I sit in my chair and I said, yes, there goes a future leader of this country.
Something? It's one thing when you deliver a nice speech. It's another thing when people receive it, right?
There you go.
And what we know with the Prime Minister is that, first of all, I don't think he's this is just my personal opinion. I don't think he's a good public speaker.
No,
but beyond that, people never not pay attention. Look at what happened at the JLP conference. No, that. He demean Christopher, the Honorable Christopher Tufton. I've received complaints about on a regular basis about the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and he said regarding services and this and that, and he said, and they're all justified. And when we spoke to the Minister Christopher Tufton, him going, I don't remember that speech. He said, I don't remember that speech. And he stood up on the stage. So if him own ministers not paying attention to him, Jamaican people, take a cue from the Honorable Christopher Tufton. The Prime Minister attack bad about him and him up on the stage and him don't hear nothing. Him don't hear nothing. Right. So we're done.
I'm saying to Jamaicans tonight, if you don't believe what I said about Senator Gabriella Morrison, go to my YouTube channel, because I literally took off. Although I bring the PNP speech live and I listen to her speak, I took off her part and I put it up even on my TikTok and on my YouTube channel, because that young lady is a future leader for this country.
Future leader, good.
She's a future leader for this country. Yes. And when she's in the Senate, she speaks with such passion for this country.
Yeah, man in the wilderness.
Yes.
Listen. The emails in Parliament.
Yes.
And what I said on Reason with Rattigan to the what was that PNP Senator Ratty? We did that interview about 2 weeks ago.
Motley.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I said to her, you have all these mothers, these women in Parliament, a record number. And it's inconceivable that they have not been able to get the government as well as opposition more focus on the family, more focused than helping the poor of Jamaica. Because you would think that is what mothers want. They want the best for young kids, and I keep harping on this young kid stuff. You want the best for young kids, and you want to lead them from the being underserved community into a community of service. In other words, you want a work and a reward program, and you want a program that you spend money in the community, whether it's on sports or whether it's on just community development programs in general. But you have to do more for communities so that the young kids can grow up with some promise. Not a promise to join a gang, but a promise to get ahead and be everything they want to be. You know, this is the kind of stuff I thought women coming into parliament would be harping on. But some women seem to be following in the footsteps of these hard-headed men who want to just stuff their pockets and do everything in their power to gain more power. You know, and that's totally unfair to your constituents. You know, Jamaica, really and truly, you should require these members of parliament to spend at least 1 month out of the year living in their community, in their constituency.
So spend the whole 12 months.
Well, I'd love to see that, but we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, man.
I know one of them that lives in there, who took Bunting seat, Rhoda Crawford.
He lives in the
I think Philip Paul will live by East Kingston too. So, him live by East Kingston.
I don't think so, you know.
Yeah, man, him live by East Kingston.
You need
East Kingston and Port Royal. Man.
Because the more divorced you are away from your community, is the least concern you have for the community. And if you want to go there and give away, what is it, $5,000 and chicken back?
That's a stop, man. That's it. That's a stop.
You can't keep that up. You know, that don't make sense. So
if it stop, man.
But I believe the women in parliament should form a core group that speak to elevating all of these underserved communities. You know, to stop colorism and to stop classism. They really and truly need to work on that. And I think that they'll get their just recognition.
All right.
Whatever party they're with.
Yes,
they
man.
can do that.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up now, because we're going about 3 hours. We know so we beat them tonight. We beat them. And we're not done beating them yet, but we'll come back next week. So we beat them so much. We're not leaving, because we're not leaving, but we're going to knock off for 3 hours, but I'm beating that.
Yes.
So, yeah, next week. We're there.
Yes. Oh. Yes, sir. So, Wayne, just before you go, Wayne, just remind everyone, join me on Tuesday on the Make We Talk Jeff Tavares YouTube channel. I'll be live. I'll be speaking about something to do with this country. Not the topic as yet, but something. I know Mr. Rattigan will be on.
Yeah, man.
No court date Tuesday. Remember me tell you?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You try to make put it off tomorrow.
Yes. Because and also the National Ad Agency. I have some dirt for you. You want thief the woman Lana Trelawney. It is in her family for 400 years. And I want you know. When you going around thieving people and give it to no friends and cronies. You think we don't know what they want? The commissioner of land use a damn thief too.
So you have some dirt. Never run knowing about you have some dirt before we go away. You have some dirt and a Trelawney then way. And then after Trelawney coming back, so you have St. Anne's. And then St. Mary. You have some dirt and river there with water. If you mix up dirt and water, where you get.
And the cockpit country near to the people.
No, well, dirt and water. Where dirt and water give you? Mud. And you then near St. Mary. Man, no bother with it, you know, this Agintite thing. Anyway, we got here. They're using of him of the blessed.